What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Come on around this side of the mic to say what's up.
Is this what you normally do? You
normally
point?
I go like this.
I'm not usually familiar. Oh yeah, you do that. No, that's the first.
That's what
down.
I do.
That's the.
Oh, yeah. That's
to make
that's
everyone
totally
know
Nick's
that
thing.
we just
Yeah.
I just made that up.
Nick invented.
That's a Nick thing. I think. Yeah, 100%.
Don't look where you're pointing though. That's the Nick way to do it.
Yeah.
Like in
Okay.
football,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look where they're like you're going down that field.
All right,
I
now,
like to look at
how
the guy that's
confident
like,
are you that they point down the field when they do it in football?
I'm 50% confident.
Yeah.
50-50.
Okay.
They might actually point up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you got
hey, we're
the.
gonna-
I just like how you were so confident that the refs look where they're pointing.
I don't know if they look. Sometimes they might look like up to the guy in the skybox who's like looking
The
down.
guy.
At him. There's like
The
one dude, right?
guy in a skybox.
They have really
Yeah.
big Motorola headphones with the little.
Oh, I see. You're talking like the offensive coordinator.
And they always go like
Offensive
this.
coordinator's not really talking down
Yeah,
to the
make
ref.
sure that he gets a damn touchdown.
Yeah.
Get a
this time.
damn touchdown.
Get a GD touchdown.
Get a GD
for GD's sake. You know
Ooh,
what I mean? They're always swinging those things, which I assume is why they're covering their mouths.
GDTD.
They're
You're
covering
just
their mouths so that the other team
screaming
doesn't steal their signals.
Secrets.
Over here, the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Go Islanders.
Go Islanders. You're
Hey.
back on the track. Yeah.
I learned a lot of things about Colin today.
You did. Oh, this is the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Yes.
Let him host.
Let Tim host. Including the fact that his favorite animal, allegedly, growing up, was the flamingo.
Yeah, the pink flamingo.
Now, I don't believe this. He was telling me he's holding this
100%
damn
believe
box
this. I
of a lot
100%
of
believe
stuff. And I'm like, why do you have a pink flamingo? He's like, oh, I used to really like pink flamingos. And I'm like, that's a Tim thing to say. Not so much a Colin thing to say, but he owned it. He completely was just like...
I'm dead serious.
That in what'd you call them? The pinwheels, right?
I was obsessed with pinwheels when I was a kid too. I loved
How
loved the
little of a kid?
maybe like ages toddler to 8.
To 8.
Yeah.
Obsessed with pinwheels. What the fuck does that even mean?
I just liked first of all, the best was the pink flamingo. That was the pinwheel.
What?
with
Is
like,
that-
his arms.
Yeah, like his arms were
familiar with
pinwheels.
this guy. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with this guy. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with this
Was
guy.
he like? Wait, that wasn't one of the
I
wooden
know
ones,
this fucker.
right? I always think the wooden duck, like when you pull it, the kids' toy. Have you seen those? Like you pull
That's
the
not
duck
a pinwheel.
and it goes like this.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
similar. It's similar.
Yeah, similar mechanics.
Sure.
Don't
Except
act like
wind versus
you started
pulling.
that sentence. That's not a pinwheel. Like it was going to be an insult. The next thing you said to me.
I know
That's
we're
not a
we're
pinwheel.
fighting a lot lately.
You are being mean to me a lot lately. I'm trying to be really nice to
Well,
you.
the
but
whole
you're
shit.
stressed
I'm
out.
talking to Tim nonstop about what the topics are. You don't want to listen. You want to make your little.
He
fucking
called me
jokes.
Nick 3 times. That was once.
I just
Yeah,
want.
That's when you
the kind of
know-
shit that scars you.
That's when you. Wow, I didn't mean to scar anyone at the table.
Oh, I'm not scarred.
Actually,
I'm more scarred about these
The
flamingos.
party
Oh.
started, huh?
Damn!
Oh,
What? This is a freaking heel turn!
Now I've heard a lot about the party here.
Oh! What?
And so my real question is, which one of you party members
Oh,
get this candy bra off my chest?
I don't think I can do it.
You can do it.
He's going for it.
Look at it.
No, it's not dog candy.
this takes
God
it,
bless you. God bless you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty
this
classic.
takes it to the second level.
Did Christine have to help you put that on?
No, I did it myself.
Cheetos did,
And I
right?
had to tell her not to blow me up and ask why there was a candy bra box in the bathroom.
Your nipples peeking out a little bit there.
The thing is, if
Oh,
you
that's
look,
good.
Kev, if you know how to zoom in, you can see my chest hair is all wrapped up in this candy.
Luckily, Kev doesn't know how
Oh,
to
thank
zoom
God.
in.
Don't you know what? Don't.
It's
better for everyone if you
it's
don't do it.
painful, but it's
Does
for
it? If I do this,
Ooh.
Does
that
that
one.
hurt a
It's
lot?
this one, you can see. Look, it's like
I
that's
don't
really
like
stuck
this.
on there,
yeah,
man.
that
Those
one
things
hurts.
are like.
That one's pinching.
That one's pinching.
Portillo, it's not dog candy.
What did you think was gonna happen with your dumb dog on your lap? He's gonna.
I didn't.
Just let
That
him
was
lick
your
it.
plan all along.
Let him lick it and see how many he can get through before the end of the show.
No, because candy's bad for dogs.
Sugar? Not good for dogs?
No.
It's not candy, man. That's
Well,
just...
I know it's a smarty shit.
If on Halloween, again, if people pass this as candy,
Can I tweet this out?
I'm
Yeah.
upset. That is...
You might want to move your head because you'll get strangling the dog.
So
Go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't even need to see it, Colin. Yes, I'm
Hey,
good with it.
here's the thing, though. That is a classic the party maneuver, I
Yeah.
will say.
Candy bras?
Yeah, the old switch-em-a-rule, the whole rigmarole of taking your shirt off and having a candy bra.
So you had to wear that the rest of the
No,
time.
well, see, this is why I made Colin bring back in the bag. We have ants. I can't go around throwing candy bras on the ground. The ants will come find it.
Yeah,
These
well,
ants. If you remember in
yeah.
the original conversation with Colin's season, we talked about the ants. And these ants are back, and it's, what, 3 years later? 2.5 years
Dude,
later?
this is the thing I didn't realize because ever since we've lived here, we've had ants, and our house is clean. Like we don't leave like shit around. It is a West Coast thing.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
looked
Like
it up
when
on
it
the
rains, you get fucking inundated with ants.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
those
I was
motherfuckers
reading about it. I'm like, what's wrong with this? And they're like, the people were like, even if you try to like seal everything, they're gonna find a way to get in. So just accept.
We don't have the yard flamingos out here.
No.
Garden.
No, they're scared of that. Yeah. I'm dead serious about the pink flamingo, man.
I'm
fucking passionate about the pink flamingo.
It was the pinwheels I thought was a little more interesting. I remember digging pinwheels. I dig pinwheels. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't like pinwheels.
What? Like, that's a weird thing.
What are you talking about? As a kid?
I mean,
What's
whatever.
even more weird is we didn't even touch on the fact that Greg's wearing this candy bra for longer than 5 seconds. Went right back into the pink flamingo.
There's not much
Where
else.
did you get this candy bra from?
Oh, this is from the White Elephant Exchange at IGN today.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I tried to get the PlayStation Network gift card, and then it got poached from me, and that was the final time it could be poached. So I took this, and I got a candy garter belt as well. And then one of our fans on
wearing
Twitter,
that too?
one of our best friends, tweeted the candy G-string. But whoever bought these 2 items thought the G-string was over the line, which I agree with.
Fuck them.
Wow.
They invited.
Oh my god.
Those people don't know how to party.
I don't know how my chest hairs are getting so involved with this. It's like the symbiote.
There's a lot of
It's
nooks.
like
Yeah,
the symbiote.
makes
It's just
sense.
becoming part of me.
There's a lot of nooks and crannies in that
Yeah,
bra
there is.
for your chest hairs to
Look at
hide
them.
in.
But I don't understand that chest hairs know how to crawl through
This
like this.
section right here looks like a big tarantula is trying to crawl out of it. That section.
Oh my god.
Here, you go
You
show
see it.
Kevin how to zoom in on this. This is quality footage. People can't miss
Kevin,
this.
you know how to zoom in. I trust you, bro. Don't hit the focus. He's gonna hit the focus though.
Kevin, don't hit the focus. This is a big moment for you in this.
Oh my god.
I like the slow creep.
Keep going all the way.
Tighter.
Kevin.
Bring it in nice and tight. What do you and the refocus?
No, you don't have to focus. Just come in. There you go.
He's like apprehensive about doing it as he does it. Look at that. And you can see all the chest hairs right there peeking through. Tim, now you're an up and coming guy. Do you
Yes.
do you shave your chest hairs?
No, I have.
You
I
have.
don't.
Good job, Kevin.
Often.
Good job, Kev. Make sure it's refocused and reset, and
It's focused.
or we'll fire you from the job we don't pay you for.
Can you tilt it a little to the left? Pan to the left. Just a little.
John
tilt there.
Carl just responded to this image brand friendly.
Perfect. Kev.
See, here's
Thank
the
you.
thing. Let's unpack this.
Oh,
For-
I've
for
been
a
waiting on
moment.
Wait,
Paxton
are we
for a
gonna?
while.
Is Greg gonna do the rest of the podcast like this?
Yes.
I mean, that's on him, but
I mean, we all know how hot it gets in this room, so I really don't care. And
It
the
doesn't
dog's
get
not
hot.
being
We-
interested
it's
in
gonna
my,
get
in my boobies.
nasty.
We bought
But here's the
LEDs.
thing.
All right.
Who's the audience of this? What's the point of this?
The audience, I would say, would be the 20-something couple, senior in college, and they're at a Spencer's Gift. That is
No, but I mean, that's the thing. Is it's just like I feel like that's you nailing it, but that's what the target demo is. I don't think that's what like those people aren't buying this.
Frat boys.
That's me.
once in a great while. I think it
You
happens.
just described me.
yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna
you're-
buy that
But you're the pure one.
because that's nasty.
You're the pure
Yeah,
one.
You don't have
But I mean-
sex.
Yeah, but it's nasty because it's on my hairy fat
no,
body.
no. If
If I was a good-looking lady and I was like,
hey, look at this.
It's true.
That's the thing, though. Well, first off,
So hot
I have a
in here.
vendetta
It's
against
hard for me
Smarties.
to examine that without. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But say even if it was like a good candy like Twix. Say it was made of
a
Twix.
Twix bra.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Say it was made of Twix. Like, first off, I get all up in that mix. Second off, I wouldn't have it wouldn't have anything to do with the Twix that I want to do that though.
You would get all up in that
The
mix.
candy on that, I don't know. I'm down for a little like, fudge. A little bit of that like
I don't know.
the
What-
Hershey's.
No.
What is this? What is this
it's-
with
it's-
fudge?
it's
What do you
Hershey's.
do? What are you
Hold on,
squeezing like an udder?
Oh, Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Just chocolate syrup. Yeah.
I've never done that.
On what part of the anatomy does the chocolate syrup go? Just any part?
Absolutely any.
Just any part? You can bathe in it?
Around the corner, chocolate's made.
Wow. Milk lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know where it's going.
Yeah.
Milk lemonade. Guys.
Okay, we skipped the part about
It's
the
too
table,
much,
right?
you
I
guys-
didn't skip it. I was about to. I was
I know,
waiting
I
for the
just-
break. You jerk. You beat me into it. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea of the Game Over Greggy show is simple. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, we put them up all the time for your amusement. You go to every Friday, we put them up. Stop it. Go to patreon.com/kindafunny. Kindoffunny.com/Patreon. You go there, you can get everything early. You enjoy it early. You give us a little bit of money. We keep doing it for you. If you don't want to give us any money, it's no big deal. You can go over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we put up each and every topic day by day until the whole show is posted on Friday, when it's also posted on iTunes.
Got an update.
What fucking excuse do you
Nope,
have this
there's no
week?
excuse here. There's just facts. I can promise you, starting in January, everything will be caught up. Everything will be good.
Okay.
And when I say that, January is
2 weeks away.
2
5
weeks away.
weeks from now.
Yeah. So we'll be good. We're now clear. Everything's great. I just need to go back, get the last couple episodes, get them uploaded, and we'll be good. And then caught up by January.
Okay.
I assure you all.
The one funny thing is we update people all the time
Yes.
on this show, and you lie to them every time. Always saying it's
There's not
about
many
to be.
lies.
You said-
I keep saying soon. I never give them dates. This is the first time I've given a date.
For a person that goes by the pure one,
Yeah.
you're just a son of a bitch liar.
It's got you
Damn.
there.
That's true. But I'm not lying about this.
Okay.
I'm sure there's someone else. If I am lying right now, someone would tell us. Someone would find a video clip of me lying.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible to find.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a bold statement.
Impossible.
You're an excellent
Not
liar.
once in the history of anything I've ever said on camera.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I just can't stop staring at you.
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to focus. I'm gonna need you
All
to
right,
put
I'll
our
take
shirt
them
back
all.
on.
All right, look, I got. This is why I already said that. Why I brought the bag. While I de-bra and get a little more comfortable, Tim, why don't you lead us off with topics? Stop it.
Oh man, it's funny that I honestly it reached a point where in my mind it just clicked off where I'm just like, this is
Greg's in a
totally
candy
normal.
bra. Big
It's
deal.
normal. It doesn't bother me. It's
This
just
is our
like,
Christmas special, by the way.
here's the reason why it bothers me. It's
Or
not
it's-
because I find it offensive visually.
Oh god,
Yeah, buddy.
man.
How'd that
that
go?
was a bad noise.
Half your skin came with that.
Oh, look at all the pubic hairs tied up in there.
Put it. Are you guys gonna use that later?
Oh,
Or?
yeah.
Oh god.
Disgusting thing. Smarties, gross.
Ew.
They are gross.
Knockoff Smarties,
Yeah, I know,
even
right?
worse.
Yeah.
They're like Boston Smatties.
Smatties.
Smatties, but with D's.
Look at how chalky
like
my
that.
nipples look, but it's really just the chalk from the Smarties.
You got them chocolate nips.
I don't think so. I think your nipples are just chalky. Pretty sure I just touched them for no reason. Got
Yeah, you
baited into that one.
Yeah, he just rubbed his nipple a little
Oh
bit.
great! It looks like a giant. It looks like when
I'll
you
buy
take
your
Portillo
shirts.
for a walk.
Buy your shirts for
Hey, if you like
kindafunny.com
love,
slash
or if you want love to
store.
lead this nation in 2016, you go buy that shirt right there.
kindafunny.com/store.
Tim, make it with me. Suck on this love, everyone. Suck
All
on
right,
it.
guys. So
All right, what's
in
your-
college, I took a lot of classes that I absolutely hated.
Sure.
Took a couple that I really liked.
Video production.
Yeah, all the video stuff was cool. But there was one that I didn't expect to like, and that was philosophy. And I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. And my teacher's name was, I shit you not, Rocky Balboa.
No way.
Professor Balboa, first name Rocky, born before the movies. Pretty crazy.
Weird.
Yes.
That must have been a real hindrance in life. Or maybe it helped him.
Probably
I
helped
think
him.
it
was
helped
it
him.
him, yeah?
It helped him.
Was he buff? Was he fat?
He looked exactly like Nick's brother.
oh wow.
so awesome.
Yeah.
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 Matt
yeah.
Scarpino.
Matt Scarpino.
And Adonis.
So yeah, so he was cool, and I liked him a lot. And philosophy is a weird class because there's not really any right answer.
Was it philosophy or was it something like?
It was intro to philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a lot of a lot of it was true and false statements,
Logic.
and ifs and logic. It was all logic, right? And so we learned all this stuff, and I liked it. I like things like this. It's fun to think about. It's like word problems that don't involve math. I'm into it. Thinking. I like thinking a lot. So on our final, there was like 50 questions, and they were all true or false statements, and you just say if they're true or false using logic. Now the final statement blew my mind.
Okay.
It was true or false. This statement is false.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh shit. You're telling me it's false. So it's false. But is it true that the statement is false?
Was
And I
there a
remember-
right or wrong answer to this?
I don't know, but I sat there
I
for
don't know.
so long. So long thinking about this. And I remember like months out, like the next semester I came back and I asked him and he just like did one of those like and just didn't give me the answer.
And then
He
he
was
put up
just
his
like-
arms and it was like a freeze frame.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It
It's
was
like
weird. It was right after I went
authors say,
upstairs.
no, it's what it meant to you that matters.
No, I mean he
You're
didn't
like,
even
no, I wanna know
he
what
didn't
it
even
meant
give
to
me
you.
that bullshit.
Really?
He just straight up did the like, I guess I did my job. I fucked with someone. And I enjoed
I
that.
made you think.
Thank
You like
you.
you never stopped thinking about it for months.
No, I seriously I
Toss
didn't.
and turn.
Well,
Like
it's
I
years
remember
now, right?
I remember like after that, yeah, it is years now. But I remember like everyone I would talk to, I'd be in social gatherings, I'd bring this up and talk to them and be like,
So the
"What do you think
statement
about
said,
this?"
the question is true or false, and the statement says
This statement is false. So it's hard because you're like, oh well, it's
How can the statement
It's
have
true.
any? I mean, how can the statement have any true or false value to when it's not making a declaration?
Boom. Blow your mind.
it is making a declaration.
Yeah, I mean the
The
declaration says it's
statement
false.
is false.
There's two ways to answer this in my opinion. I took logic in college. I wasn't very good at it though. I thought it got really complicated.
Do you know the Avril
One.
Lavigne song?
I was going to
Yeah,
count
yeah.
it off for you. I was going to count it off. Football count. You said
one,
there's two ways to look at
there's two ways. So one,
How's this football?
yeah, I
count?
don't understand how that. That's first down.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
what's
so
two?
first-
Can't.
Just jump ahead for a second.
Second
No.
down.
No, that's also
Now,
first
why
down.
don't
They
you
do second down,
you're-
right?
you should just do like boxing ref counts. You know what I mean? When they're like,
No, I don't get boxing. I understand football now
they go
because of
10,
Colin's
and then-
expert
You're an expert at football.
Yeah.
He gave me all of his knowledge that he's accumulated over the 19 years since he stopped liking pink flamingos. It's great.
So there are two answers. There are two valid answers. And one's true and one's false. The valid false answer is the statement is false. And therefore the statement is inherently false, and therefore it is false. Right? The statement is false.
This is what
Right?
I wanted from this
Or
topic.
the statement is false, and that is true. It's declaring itself false, and therefore it's true that it's false.
so either way, it's false.
Well, I think that you can answer it true or false. My opinion is that it's true. That it is true that it is false. If this statement is false, true. But if he's saying inherently this statement is false, so he's saying it's false. It is false.
But
Like that is the declaration.
but
As
the
opposed to
statement-
A,
the
then B
statement
is C.
has no value. It's a statement referring to itself. I mean,
The statement is I think the statement. It's no different than A, B is C or something like A then B is C. It's just using It's using words instead of letters. I mean, it's not literally A then B is C.
I understand what you're saying. If you were to have the statement enumerated, you could put equals false or true, and that's the equation formula to it.
Like sperm then egg is pregnant. A then B is C.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's the.
What about sperm?
piqued your interest? You know what I mean? So I think that you're getting caught up. I'm not a. What? It's logician, right?
That's
Logistician?
magician.
I don't know.
A magician of logic.
Someone's like
Logitech.
this. Boom, it's true.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So
what
what do
you
you think the
That's
answer is?
logician.
I don't know.
You don't know what the
even,
answer
I
is.
don't remember. I
Let's
don't
look it
know.
up on Google. Google will tell us.
Maybe. So wait, what's the definition of true? Are true and false opposites?
Yes.
By definition?
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
So can you then replace false with not true? So this statement is not true. Is the same as this statement is
Yes.
false.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm sure someone now has a better.
Yeah,
Bearing with logic
Rocky
out there.
Balboa, the logician's out there freaking out his
Yeah.
computer right
Logician
now.
is. I'm
Spilling
gonna go with
his mocha
logician
latte.
because it sounds cooler.
Logician?
Logician. It's like magician.
Yeah, I know. I
I wonder
got
what the
the end
More
of it.
logical,
I'm gonna look
Greg.
it up. I feel like it is logician.
Okay, well, everybody's checking their phones. It's a great time for me to tell you to check out this body.
Damn.
Remember when I had the bra on?
Yeah, I remember that. It was good.
A lot of people
I'm
like
a little
that.
upset.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why?
you're making the
Because
right
you didn't
call
eat it
now.
off me like I asked you to?
I mean,
I might put the garter on later. You want to try that?
I have strict rules about what I will and won't do on camera.
Eating Greg Miller's bra is one of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
A
What are some-
logician is a person whose topic of scholarly study is logic.
Logician. There you go, Tim. You got what you
Damn.
wanted.
We're good.
And what do you got for me over here?
There's a couple different predominant theories on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
according
one's true,
to
one's false.
Yahoo Answers, no. You would think
Yahoo!
that-
That's
you.
my contribution.
Thank you for that.
Some people say the statement is false because it's actually true, and vice versa. But a couple people have agreed that it is what's called a liar paradox, meaning that it's a paradox because if you keep going down that rabbit hole, it's either true or false, true or false. So there's no answer for it.
Okay.
And it's meant to show that our logic is fundamentally flawed.
So the only way that we could have got that right is if we didn't circle either
Correct.
of them on the test.
Correct. By not answering.
if
by
he
not playing
if
the
he
game.
ascribed to that,
It's
If
just
Ro-
like war games.
If Professor
yes.
Balboa marked anyone off for what they answered on that, he can go fuck himself.
I know, right?
And I hope he hears that.
If-
Everybody tweet him.
If he's still...
Tweet
if
at
Professor
Rocky
Balboa is
Balboa.
still putting that on his test,
I mean,
I want you to draw an obscene picture by
let's
that
not
answer.
lie to ourselves here right now. If you Google Professor Rocky Balboa, San Francisco, you're gonna probably find this guy.
We're gonna get
I don't
this
think
guy.
I don't think it's that hard to find him. Find a Twitter for him.
I think it's a compelling question. I'm not.
Get him on the show. How far away is
Kevin's
he?
not okay with this.
Kevin's not too late. Kevin, you're out of school.
I'm not convinced that there isn't an answer.
You're not convinced there isn't an answer. You think
Yeah,
there's a
I don't believe in this
definitive answer?
paradox. Although again, I'm not a logician, but
It sounds awesome.
it's this statement is false.
It's true.
This statement is false.
I love when
Religious.
Colin just keeps repeating it.
It's true. This statement is false. Is true. Or this statement is false and therefore is inherently false because it's telling you it's false. That's
Yes,
the
but
fucking paradox.
But the paradox
of this
is that
statement,
if you say
and
the
now
statement
this is going to
false, then it's
fucking
true.
keep me up for days.
That's why it's paradoxical.
God
you
damn
can't
it.
solve it.
Paradoxical.
Paradoxical?
Is it
Paradoxical.
paradoxical?
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
paradox. Because if it says the statement's false, then it is inherently true. But if it's true, it can't be false, and therefore it is a redundant term. So it keeps going along in that loop.
Yeah.
It's a paradox. Just like Terminator 2.
It's exactly like that.
Oh, you keep going with it.
Where did you go to school?
Damn it. You
San
know,
Francisco
Greg, if you're not
State.
going to commit to this podcast, I'm done.
I'm trying to track down the professor.
I was looking at the professor.
Yeah, how did you find him?
Nope.
Seems like a whole bunch. I think he
For
made
some
it all
reason-
up.
For some reason, I typed in Brock Lesnar instead of Rocky Balboa.
Was this a dream the entire time?
Brock Lesnar, SFSU, logic professor.
He's F5 in
I
people
don't know why I
for
did that.
tables.
I was like, this is weird. He's really big. He's got a knife tattoo on his chest.
Wow,
guy's
this guy
hard.
was jacked.
Hard as nails.
This guy apparently doesn't exist on the internet, so you're welcome to apologize for your lies
Man.
you brought to this table.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa says this statement is false.
How does he say it? Yo, Adrian, I'm a logician.
It
What is
depends
it?
on if it's Rocky
Logistical?
1 or Rocky 5.
Logician?
Logician.
You know what's funny about the Rocky
Like
movies?
mathematician. It's no
Is if you watch them, the Rocky movies, he goes from street slang in 1 and 2. He gets a little. Actually, no. In 2, yeah, he's still slang. Then in 3, when he has to fight Mr. T, he's like a prim and proper college graduate.
Well, remember, he got the money.
Yeah. Then in
Changed
4, he goes back to street slang though,
Yeah.
because he like.
Well, isn't 3 the one where he does the commercials and the guys are making fun of him because he can't read the cards? What one was? Or is that like the first one?
That was probably 3.
You know what I'm talking about? When
No.
he's like he's doing a commercial. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I don't know.
It was probably 2.
They all mix up in my head except for the bad. Like I know who all the bad guys are, and that's basically it.
Clubber Lang. Apollo Creed.
But there was one where he's like doing a commercial and they're making fun of like the people are like getting impatient with him because he can't read it or.
It might have been 2. It must have been 2. Because in 3 he had like that. Like 3 and 4 he had the baller mansion. He was getting like he was famous and made a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because 3 starts with him beating
just be
everyone, like
making
all
that
these
scene
bad
up.
fights that they throw out, and they throw all these like chump fights.
The extended cut of Rocky and Colin's head.
I could, yeah, I just have all
You
these
wrote fan
fake,
fiction?
I have all these fake Rocky scenes in my head that I swear are real. But I think that scene exists. I'll have to look at that.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
remember
I'm gonna
that.
study the scripts tonight.
The scripts is where you're gonna go.
Yeah,
well,
we
that's
go-
what's throwing you off. The stuff that they shoot sometimes isn't what they
It's
put,
off
put out
sometimes.
there. Yeah, on
Yeah.
the real thing.
Oh, he's tired.
All right,
Who's
so
on
are we? Do we have answers for this?
Yeah, it's a paradox. It doesn't make sense. It's just like why Taco Bell near me is not open 24 hours a day.
That is a
It
paradox.
doesn't make any sense.
There you go.
But is it a paradox?
That's true. So therefore,
I don't think that. I
first
think
one's
he
true.
didn't mark anybody right or wrong for that. That's my argument. I think he wanted to see you think through it logically
yeah,
and make an argument. Did you do that, Tim?
I
Did
mean,
you put that in your blue book?
I did. I mean, we only had to circle yes or no, Greg.
Oh,
There was no.
This is
room.
what kind of
College.
clown college you go to?
We didn't go to
College.
Mizzou, the world's best journalism school in
It
the
was
world.
voted that today.
Was it?
There was a new study released. They were back on top. As the
I think my school just voted the school longest.
to have a bunch of fictional fucking
It took,
professors.
yeah, it took the longest to make a library that no one actually got to use. Like that sounds like one of those jokes where it's like, oh yeah, you know the college man, they're building a library. One day it'll be done. That was my school. It was like when I started there, they started building this library. Right when I left, it was built. I think it's a joke now.
Stupid
I walk by
librarians.
it.
That's how it always
I walk
works.
by and there's all these pretty people on their Macs and they're all just like, I'm in a library.
They're right. That's what they're typing.
They're tweeting
It's-
that technically.
Yeah, they're probably technically tweeting
Technically tweeting it.
Technically,
Yeah.
technically.
it. Today,
tweeting.
Nick screams across IGN,
What?
hey, what's your AIM name?
Yeah, that was great. That was pretty baller.
Sometimes I can't even tell if I'm doing it out of sheer ignorance or just to be funny.
I don't even know. Like, I
Doesn't
feel like
matter.
you just, I know you don't know. You just do it.
AIM. No, I've heard people. I've never heard anyone refer to it as an acronym before. Everyone always says AIM or IM name, but I thought it was funny. I don't know why in my brain I
Screen
combined
name.
that with AIM.
We're one of the few groups that still uses
AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
You tell people that outside of our industry, and they're like, "What the hell are you
why-
doing?
why
What are you
would
doing? You want? What do you want?"
No, I'm sorry.
You find the car commercial?
Yeah, I think this is.
Here we go, here
It's
we
not
go.
a car commercial.
What's it from?
It's a cologne commercial.
From 3.
It's. Sorry, my phone's crashing. Beast aftershave. It doesn't say. It has no other information.
Okay.
Rocky fumbles through an aftershave commercial is the only thing. It was uploaded in 2006. That has 61,000 views.
Wow.
None of that information helps us.
Doesn't help us
Turbo.
track it down.
Just look for Beast aftershave Rocky.
I gotta look at this.
No, you got to do your topic. Nick, what's your topic?
My topic, of course, comes from Twitter. Like all my topics do.
Tweet
Remember, if
your
you
que-
have
yeah.
a topic suggestion for the show, tweet at Nick_Scarpino with topic in the lines. Let me
Not
know it's a topic.
at Nick Scarpino.
No.
Who now has a cushy job at Portillo's.
He is living the good life.
Did we talk about that last week? I forget.
Yeah,
we
did.
talked a little
Okay.
bit about it, but let me just put it to you this way. I'm stuck in this room with you guys doing the show, and he gets all the Italian beefs he wants.
Yeah.
And he can
So
put.
do
You
we.
know what? What's fun? Boom. He can also get those little nacho cheeses.
It's such a treat for our audio listeners.
Yeah, we just
the
did the
moment
first
of
outside.
silence while you idiots point at each
Yeah,
other.
we're done. We are not smart. At AK_Chris capital B says, Nick Scarpino, if you could bring back something popular from the 80s, what would it be? #topic.
Ooh,
Thank you for the #topic.
Ooh, I like the
I
hashtag.
found it.
hashtag
because of
topic.
that.
No, you didn't really.
Nope. I just
Everybody
I
start
read
using
every. I try to
hashtag
read
topic.
every tweet that comes my way anyway. You can read
Nick
actually.
Scarpino will find every hashtag topic. you
Hashtag
put out.
topic.
#GOG topic would be preferable, but
All
that
right,
works out well.
hashtag GOG topic.
GOG
Tweet at you
topic.
still.
Yeah, tweet at Nick
You know what?
And
Just
Nick
tweet
Scarpino.
something at
Tweet
Nick.
at
He'll see it.
tweet at normal Nick Scarpino, not you. Nick Scarpino, all one word, about how we have to come to Portillo's and do a show there. I have to
Yes.
get my photo on the Portillo's wall. We got to
Oh,
get
just
free
you.
Portillo's here.
I'm gonna make it my quest in life to get my photo on the Portillo's wall before
I'll
you do.
burn.
I guarantee.
Why are you setting up another? We're supposed to be the united front against the party here.
Let me put up one thing right now.
I would
guarantee
love that. That
I-
would be funny as hell.
I have the man's name. I guarantee I could get on that wall before you do.
No way. I have my photo with the staff already when I signed all those autographs. I'm sitting pretty. I just got to get it sent in.
I'm just saying.
put
There's you're not Italian. That's where the divide comes.
I'm
in
from
here.
Chicago.
Doesn't matter.
I'm getting my picture on that wall.
If you do that, I'm buying the Islanders. I'm selling everybody off. I saw the one guy with no money do it. I can do it too.
It's fair
30
enough.
for 30.
Guys. Something from the 80s.
80s.
What would you bring back?
So the first thing that comes to mind, and everyone's gonna hate me, it's Back to the Future, because I feel like we don't need to bring it back. But that's the one thing that like hasn't been brought back yet. That I'm like, fuck yeah, I love that
Well, you
shit.
forget about the Telltale Game series, which did act as the fourth movie.
Yeah, but come on, no, I'm not even gonna.
So
I
now
ain't
you
fucking
say
with
bring
that.
back. Do you mean continue the
even
Marty
know.
McFly storyline, or do you mean
I'd be down with just like a
brand new?
Just oh man, see when in my head I was like, oh, just completely new reboot, but then thinking that through, I don't know if I want to reboot. That'd be upsetting too. Come back to me.
Yeah, you
I
can't
think
reboot
I would
that.
want. I don't. Yeah, you do. I think you can.
No, fuck that. That's I mean, you can reboot anything you want, but that's another movie that should not be touched.
Sure. But
Absolutely not
See,
touched.
I think there's enough time travel stories there to tell, especially thinking about the fact that they went back to the 1950s and the 80s. So now we're just going back 30 years.
I know,
So
but
we'd
it's
be-
Michael J. Fox.
I know he was amazing.
Like that character.
He'll have a nice
Marty
cameo.
McFly is like.
Can I give him? Can we give him a cameo? Would that appease you?
Well, everyone, Doc too. Like I just feel like that's a movie you cannot capture the essence of again. It's like
What
when
if
they try
we-
to do Willy Wonka again. It's like
What
what
if
do you
we
think?
did it with an all-girl cast?
What if Gina
That's the
Davis
new thing
was
for
in it?
bringing back 80s movies.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like that. I just don't feel like you should do that.
No, I feel the same way about Ghostbusters, so I understand what you're saying.
I feel like Ferris Bueller, but if it
No.
was a girl Ferris Bueller,
That's sacrilege.
I'd be into that.
No one can
Like a
ever
super
do
cool
Ferris
girl
Bueller.
doing
Like the
super
problem
cool
with Ferris
girl
Bueller
things.
is it's so iconically Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. See, the
Like,
thing
you
too
can't
is like,
do it.
yeah.
It's hard.
See, like
Well, the
that's
whole thing is I don't want things to come back that we don't need sequels. We're always bitching on the show that Hollywood should have new ideas, right? Like Easy A, right? That was a good movie. And that was similar to a Ferris Bueller's. Not exactly, but I mean, like that was a strong female character right there. So you were happy with that movie.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't need to tread on things I love in terms of things. Just give me back High C Ecto Cooler,
Oh, that was really good.
right?
I love that shit.
Dang.
The Slimer outlived everybody else because he was on that forever. And then
Yeah.
like what 98, they were like, all right, we got
That stuff was really
finally
good. You're,
done.
you're right on with that. That shit was really good. It's probably
I do.
terrible for you. I used to drink that all the time.
High C Ecto Cooler.
It was
Yeah.
the green
You remember
drink.
it?
No.
Slimer on
Really?
it.
A little-
I know. I mean, I know High C, but I don't remember. I mean, I know
Is
High
High
C.
C still a thing?
High C's
Yeah.
a juice box, right? Not.
Yeah.
Not
Well, it was
the
a
one-
can too. You could buy it in the can, and then you remember you'd pop the hole in it.
That was weird to me though. I was like just the juice box, and I would always every third straw I would snap in half for some stupid
Yeah,
reason.
but
Like,
it's because
it
it
just
was-
wouldn't break through the stupid
Yeah,
thing.
it was too much.
Look at that.
Do you-
First result, High C Ecto Cooler.
Did you guys ever do the thing where you turn it upside down and just stab it? Oh no, I'm thinking the other pack.
You're
High
thinking
C.
Capri Sun.
I'm thinking
That's
Capri
High
Suns
C.
were
gross.
High
I
C.
didn't
Shout
like
out to Caprice.
No, I wasn't feeling Capri Sun.
What?
No, definitely not.
Capri Suns were better than High C's. Sorry.
Caprice Sun are like
Are you-
They're on a level unlike any other. They're up there in my favorite things in the world.
Wow.
Capri Sun is one of your favorite
Maybe
things in
top
the
10.
world. Top 10 things. I didn't like Capri Suns. I didn't like the pouch.
I like Capri Sun.
I didn't like the pouch. It was impractical.
It wasn't practical.
Mm.
It didn't make any sense because once you got past a certain point, you had to hold it.
You blew the air in it, and then you sucked it all out to get that
Yep.
little bit left in there.
And then you put it on your tongue, and it, like you sucked it, and then it got stuck in your
Yeah.
tongue, and then you had
You-
the Capri Sun pouch just flopping around.
Mini
Now-
topic. Sorry, in topic within a topic. Inception. Whoa. Kevin, play the Inception music.
Boom. Is this more about Capri Sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do you go through the top or do you flip it over?
Top. I want it through that silver hole.
Yeah, you gotta go through the hole.
I went through the hole in the few times that I drank that abomination of a drink.
Abomination of a drink.
All right.
Have you tried
Inception is
Pacific
done.
Cooler?
Is that a flavor?
Yes.
I don't remember. I haven't had a Capri Sun in 20 years. So I don't know. I just remember, first of all, High C was on point. Right?
High C was amazing.
High C was on point.
High C was delicious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on High C,
And-
but I would bathe in Capri Sun.
But to
Wow,
me, like
that's bold.
I liked like the little, even just apple juice and stuff, like the drink boxes. I wasn't
little
getting
tiny drink
I
boxes?
wasn't getting too crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like
Portion control.
I wasn't getting too crazy with it. Capri Sun was just a little too much for me. I was a big fan of fruit snacks, but yeah.
Fruit snacks.
I think growing up, I was probably High C first and foremost because it had Slimer on it, and that was the thing. But I enjoyed it.
Your obsession with Ghostbusters is so weird.
It's a great
It's
thing.
so
to be obsessed
weird,
with.
man.
But
It's awesome.
But then High C turned its back on me, and now Capri Sun sends me customized shoes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm a fan of that. You want to bring those out over there? This
Yeah,
is not
let's
a
see those
setup
bad
either.
boys.
But they're there. The note is on top of the signed Batgirl.
Oh, that's
poster as
weird.
well.
That's just worked perfectly.
They made.
I was gonna do eventually an unboxing video, but I figure here's good as
Will you
enough.
read the declaration?
I will read the declaration from the Capri Sun
Oh, it's like 5
HQ.
paragraphs.
Yeah, it's long.
All right, I'll take a nap.
So here, Nick, I'll bore you with this story. The other day, we just put him right there in the center. We'll talk about him here. In a
yeah,
second.
just jack those up. Like
Tim, you
on
recall
Mountain.
this?
Hashtag pouch up.
You recall this when we got an email to the Kind of Funny email address.
Yes.
That was, hey, we're Capri Sun. We like you, and we're proud of your pouch up moments. Would you like some shoes? And I read this to you, and I was like, what is? And you're like, it doesn't matter. Get the shoes. And I was like, well, sure, free juice box shoes. All right, Tim says do it. I'll do it. So now they send me this thing here, this giant package with these Capri Sun shoes in them. Tim, you get the model while I read.
Okay, I'm really excited about this because it's a glass shoebox.
It's a glass shoebox, which is
Well,
amazing.
it's not really.
Well, it's
glass,
not glass,
but
it's
it's called
plastic.
glassy.
It's actually more of a plastic.
You can see through it.
They
It's
said
pretty
they were
cool.
going to send me shoes. They didn't say they were going to be customized. They're painted. I'm on it. Portillo's on it. If you're an audio listener, please come to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Watch this video. You're not going to take the second one out? You're going to half-ass the pouch up moments here, Tim? Capri Sun writes, hello, Greg. Here at Capri Sun, we're very impressed by your confidence and take charge attitude. You really embody the hashtag pouch up spirit of our new product, Capri Sun Big Pouch.
Do the thing, Kev.
So we set out to commemorate your biggest hashtag pouch up moments with this one-of-a-kind gift.
Punch in there, Kev. Punch
What
in.
we didn't know at the time is how touched we would be with
Let's
your
get a
story,
focus,
Greg.
Kev. Focus it up.
When we started doing research to find just the right hashtag pouch up moment to capture, we had a bit of trouble deciding which one to depict. We were drawn to your sense of humor, your entrepreneurial spirit, and the way you really own who you are. That's why I wear candy bras. Then we found it. There was no doubt the way you handled your Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis and your public battle to beat it was your ultimate hashtag pouch up moment. You were courageous, strong, and uplifting, and it inspired us. And we love the way your fans rallied behind you. Best regards, your friends at Capri Sun. P.S. If you share your swag online, please use the hashtag Capri Sun gave me swag.
Really? It's not hashtag pouch up.
No, I know. And when I tweeted about it, I had a hashtag pouch up. The hashtag pop.
So these are cool.
Greg's dying.
These are cool because they have Greg
It's like
and Portillo.
there was some kind of like incantation I ran that steals your soul. Yeah, me and Portillo on him.
Yeah.
It's a good painting of me for
Oh, it's great.
period, let alone being on shoes.
There's a lot of people behind him that are congratulating him.
It's
But
probably you.
more importantly,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to assume this is me. The Pacific Cooler himself. I mentioned him earlier, but here he is surfing along on Greg's new shoes.
Nice.
Woo!
Let me see.
Well, now I feel bad saying that
that's
Capri
baller.
Sun wasn't no good.
No, this is the whole point of the show. First off, again, this was not a setup.
because they were so nice to you.
Well, you're allowed not to like the product.
No, I don't like the product.
You
like
weren't
the
mean to him.
product.
You're fine. Yeah, I like Capri Sun fine.
I always had the problem. My biggest problem with Capri Sun, and good Lord, this will haunt me till I die, is great. I'm getting like 5 fluid ounces in me. No, I want at least like a liter of that
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, that's why it's for a child. And like it's probably a recommended serving size of sugar that you're drinking.
I don't know about that.
Why do you want to be over
I
here?
do know that recently
loves
they
you.
made bigger ones, and I was excited about this. But
Well,
the day
that's the
someone actually
hashtag
bottles
pouch up,
it-
the big pouch. That's what this is all about, I think.
Yeah, but I don't really want the pouch though. I just want a bottle. You know what? Fuck
No,
that. I want the pouch. Who am I kidding?
Am I wrong about this?
I just want a
That's true.
giant pouch.
Pouch
A
up.
big old
pouch.
pouch.
Big pouch. Capri Sun, you already have the address. What's wrong? I flipped the shoe. I know, Kev. I'm not stupid. Capri Sun, send big pouches. We'll do a taste test. We'll
Capri
see if
Sun,
Colin
send big
changes his
pouch.
tune.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Because I probably haven't had Capri Sun since the very early '90s. I
Okay.
would say.
Like you're at the swimming pool.
Yeah, like I remember there's 2 things I remember getting my parents to buy that I didn't like drink wise.
Like this, do you? Two.
the Capri Suns, I remember they bought, and I'm like, I don't like these. I felt like peer pressure to like the Capri Sun.
Like that?
Because I was like, everyone likes the Capri Sun. I want to like the Capri Sun. I didn't like it. The other thing was like these clear bottles that had almost like a Sphinx looking thing on top of it. It wasn't a Sphinx thing, but that's what I always
were they
like
the wax bottles where you ripped off the top?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I did not like those either.
They're not like Sphinx looking at all, but that's the way I looked at. They reminded me of something Egyptian for some reason.
They were something like they weren't gushers, but it was something like that.
Yeah, like I
Pushers.
I didn't like those either.
Liquidies.
It's always got to be about you, right, Nick? It's always about you and your
Kevin just said I was doing something stupid.
So that made you do your grin where you do it even worse. Kneel in front of the camera. Grin in front of the camera and decide that's what you've done. That's who you are now, Nick.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Get up and sit down in the chair.
If you want to talk about some disturbing imagery on the GameOverGreggy show, this episode's taking the cake.
We really got really visual on this one.
We did.
Great
We
as a
finally
podcast.
understand.
We're
We
evolving.
finally understand internet video.
works.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. How you
We're
put.
evolving. It's an evolution.
Evolve.
What was the topic?
80s things we want to bring.
What would you bring back from the
So
80s?
Ecto Cooler, yes. Oh shit.
Mask.
Mask!
Are you all right?
Are you...
I can picture the candy. I can't remember its name. Hold on.
Why did... He's so weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
He's
Yeah.
strange.
Fuck. What's the candy I'm thinking of?
80s candy.
Yeah. They were a little bit thicker than Starburst, individually wrapped like that.
Oh, I hated those things.
They had a different color on the inside, and then the outside they were different. I want to say they had something with a D in their name.
The really hard ones?
No, they were still chewy like Gusher. No, like a Starburst.
Gushers?
Something with a D.
Oh, the ones you're talking about.
Those things sucked.
Yeah.
They still have those.
Also, there was a candy that looked like a gumball, but wasn't a gumball, and it was advertised with spacemen. I would like to see that return.
Why?
Great commercials.
These are very inexact answers. The first thing that came to mind for me was music.
Oh, okay.
80s music's awesome. There's a lot of great 80s genres that don't exist anymore. Hair metal,
Yeah.
etc. But to me, if I could bring back one of them, would be new wave. The new wave sound was awesome.
It's coming. It's kind of coming back though. Like that song I played for you today in the car. A lot of people are biting that sound now in their music today.
There's a lot of heavy synth in it.
A lot of heavy synth sounds being happening
all-
on the Spotify's.
But all this, I mean, new wave is very literal. Like Missing Persons is new wave. I mean, but by the time you get to like Tears for Fears, even Duran Duran, they're like new wave-ish, but they're not completely new wave.
Bonkers.
Bonkers
Yeah,
candies. I was
buddy,
talking
I
about.
remember those.
Bonkers were delicious.
How did you find that?
I started to put in a D candy 80s, and then I remembered Bonkers.
Man, this show's going off the rails.
Once I was able to put it in there, I figured it all out.
I follow Craig Barrett on Spotify playlist. I like subscribe to it.
Yeah. Do you add things to it?
I don't add anything to it because I feel
You should.
embarrassed to do that. But do you subscribe to it?
No.
So,
I just know that I thought you or Ty or someone was saying that you just add shit to it.
Sometimes I add the same Taylor Swift song like 5 times, then he'll call me and say stop doing that. But he added a band called Chromeo. Have you heard of this band?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, they're fucking baller.
They're a baller, and that
Shout out
that
to Chromeo.
sound sounds just straight out 80s.
They got a song called Fancy Footwork. Ooh.
I just have
love
one that's
it.
called 45, Cold 45 or something like that.
That's
It's
cool
40
too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's a good one.
It's no
So-
Fancy Footwork.
Yeah, I think Cheryl listens to them.
So yeah, I mean that sound is coming back, which is cool. It never really, it did leave for a while.
Yeah, just that synth sound that like really, with like Steinberger basses and just like that really that
Good pockets.
great pockets. But like when you think about, I love like Missing Persons and really early 80s like 81, 82 bands. New wave kind of died or like kind of just went into like merged into rock and what I would assume would be like pre-alternative kind of bands. I mean, by the time you got like to Tears for Fears and stuff, there's a heavy synth element to that. But that's,
Say that you'll never, ever, ever, ever leave me.
what? Oh wait, I was going to say one headline and why I believe it, but that's not the same verse.
Cool.
Rick
thinking.
Moranis.
Rick
Yes,
Moranis,
Rick Moranis needs to come back.
Does
he
he?
was back. He was around in the. He did all the behind showing the kid movies in the 90s, didn't he?
Well, those were early 90s.
Oh no, I was right. One headline, why I believe it. That's fair.
I
But
still want him
then he
back.
retired from acting. It's time to come back.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why did he retire from acting?
I believe to take care of his dying wife.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's pretty noble.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and F off.
You're no, Off. You didn't say anything wrong.
Okay.
This is how we disseminate
I
information.
mean, after
that
shrinking his kids like 5 times.
That's good. That was funny. That was a good job.
Wow.
To take his tragedy and to make a little joke for you about little things like
I love
people.
those movies.
They were amazing.
They were traumatic.
Did you cry when the ant died?
Yeah. Honestly, definitely one of the most traumatic moments of my life.
Really?
How many?
Oh, yeah.
Can you
The
name
ant
at
dying?
least 6 other traumatic
I hate
moments
you so much, Nick.
from films?
But yeah,
Kids
no,
films?
the ant dying in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that particularly stuck out to me as like a holy shit, I hate this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was such a nice, good ant.
It was a good ant.
That scorpion was horrifying.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it was terrible.
They tricked him with Oreos, which was always cool.
The whole movie was kind of horrifying.
What was it they found in the middle of the? It was an Oreo,
Oreo.
and they just eat the hell out of the
Yeah.
middle of it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Break off big pieces of it.
Oh, so good. That was the part. That was the scene in that movie I liked most because I was like a giant Oreo. I could get down with that. I could break dance with that.
I feel like a lot of original movies came out. In the
Yeah.
80s.
A lot of original everything came out in the 80s.
A lot of good IPs. Intellectual.
Well, the
property.
'80s was is known for like being a great time for cinema. Like the '70s, the '80s really spurned the blockbuster. It spurned like the summer sort of like bonanza of
Event
action films, things like
Bonanza.
that. Yeah, I threw that out there.
Yeah, I like
You got movies like late '70s, early '80s. You got movies like Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You're starting to get into like, midway through, you've got the rise of Mr. Schwarzenegger and the Stallones and the actual
Mr. Schwarzenegger.
I call him Mr. The Gov. So yeah, the '80s was really a time of like. Was probably the last time in all that we'll ever remember because I think you're an '80s kid, right? You're an '89.
89.
You don't remember.
I
so it doesn't
qualify.
really- you do qualify. You
Ooh,
were
I
an
got
80s kid.
1 year on y'all, motherfucker.
But it was a time of like where we started to see that acceleration of technology and ideation and all that stuff. And for film, there's nothing better than the '80s. Nothing. Like everyone thinks now, oh, we can do anything with it. We can do anything. It's boring. We've seen it all. How many times do I have to see Captain America burst through someone's chest? Has he done that?
I'd love to see it once.
That'd be basic.
How many times do we have to see that? I don't know. That's a good question.
For me,
Is he bursting through? Is he punching through the chest or popping out like a
No,
little
he's
alien?
flying through it.
I for some reason got in my head that Captain America burst out of someone's chest like the
Alien?
alien. Yeah.
That's awesome. I would totally pay to see that. It's like,
That's what it's got a shield.
America.
I want my waistline to come back from the '80s.
Damn.
That's what I
Nick's
want.
getting real-
Yeah,
Wait,
I
you
was
were a fat
Wait,
kid.
yeah,
no,
what?
I was so skinny in the '80s. It wasn't until the early '90s that I discovered Twinkies and regular soda. That's what screwed it over for me. When I was a kid, I used to swim all the time. I remember being unseasonably hot in Riverside, California every single summer. We'd go to the pool, which is the Riverside
Isn't
pool.
it just hot in California, Southern
Yeah, it is.
California?
It is. Before we got a pool, we used to go to the pool, and I remember being this little tiny kid, and I used to wear Speedos all the time, and I was just
Yeah,
rail
you did.
thin. Rail
love
thin.
this.
It wasn't until I got to probably about maybe 3rd or 4th grade that I discovered that no one would stop me from eating food if I wanted to eat food. My mother tried, but after a while she was like, he wants to eat food, let him eat. He's a growing boy. My dad would always be like, yeah, but he's growing the wrong way.
What did Christopher Walken
Did you say that he's growing the wrong way? I think
No, I
that's
made that up.
awesome.
My dad's not that clever.
What did Christopher Walken say about all this?
Fine, guys. Let him have it. He wants a foot long. Give it to him.
It's great. It's really good.
It's so bad.
It's good.
If we see Rosenbaum again, we gotta let him do it. We'll have a walking off.
Gatorade.
I'm gonna say mask though.
Mask.
I mean, a lot of things can come back. I mean, I feel like there's seminal video games that came out in the 80s. There's seminal cartoons that came out in the 80s. Seminal toys that came out in the 80s. Seminal movies. And I don't think it's because we grew up in the 80s. I really think it's just a lot better back then. Like, even when you think about movies, I'm not a movie aficionado at all. But a lot of my favorite movies are 80s movies. Breakfast Club is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
Caddyshack's one of my favorite movies. You know, like there's a lot of just awesome. It was a good. It was
I'm
a
still
really
waiting
good
for
time.
Lunch Club.
I'll tell you one other thing.
you don't want
you know what? I
people
pulled
to
back. I rescind my statement because I can get my waistline back if I really try hard. You guys stop making fun of me for only eating protein. John
Back at
Hughes.
Burger King today. Give me a triple Whopper, no bun.
Yeah.
Like, sir, you're doing the damage without the bun. You
Yeah.
don't need to worry.
They're
You
like,
might as well just eat
you're
the
at
bun,
Burger
sir.
King. I would like to bring John Hughes back. If I had a time machine,
yeah,
I'd go get John Hughes, bring him back, and see what one of his films would be like today.
I apologize for knowing this. Has he passed away?
He has passed away.
When
yes.
did that happen?
A while ago. We were in the old office.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
It was about 5 years ago. Yeah, it was sad. He did great films. He defined the teens of a generation, which is a very, very hard and cool thing to do. And that's why he means a lot to people that like movies, especially in the 80s. But yeah, I'd like to see what he does again. And if he came back and just did another Home Alone film, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'd be cool with that.
Okay.
Cool.
I had something else I wanted to bring back.
Bonkers?
No,
Laffy Taffy.
Bonkers.
Laffy Taffy.
No, Candy. That never went away.
Abba Zabba?
Laffy Taffy's still here. Oh, question. You're talking about things were better back then.
Yeah,
You're talking about the
absolutely.
cartoons being better.
Everything was better.
There's no more Saturday cartoons. That's done. Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoons on regular old antenna.
Because kids are
gone.
playing on their iPads now.
That's what I was bringing up. The fact that it's gone, but there's still a lot of cartoons out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like cartoons are starting to skew more towards our generation.
Yes.
This Ninja
That's
Turtles.
because our
People love that.
generation grew up with that.
Right.
So now we're making them, which is awesome. Not us, but like the people that instead of
More talented people.
talking in front of a camera decided to draw Ninja Turtles fighting really nicely.
Right.
So do you think cartoons are in trouble?
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, not with like this whole.
Well, I'm saying if there's a generation being raised that doesn't care about cartoons.
No, they care about them on demand.
Okay.
Like
They
they
don't care about waking up on Saturday morning and trying to catch them.
Now they can just get them whenever they want.
They got to read the paper.
Yeah, think about all the
It's
cool
over the top.
but think about what you're talking about, right? Like how many DC cartoons do you watch? And
I
Marvel
watch a
cartoons?
lot because I'm a big nerd.
Yeah,
but
they're
I'm
awesome.
a 30-year-old nerd.
Yeah, but if you were a kid, wouldn't you be like, "What is this?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
Kids these
just
days,
watch the hell out of this."
they're all playing their Minecrafts. They ain't
I
got
just
time
don't
for
know
nothing.
if when you were a child, if you didn't think about quality in that sense. I mean, I used to think G.I.
God,
Joe was the
no.
most beautiful thing in the world. And it's just...
Yeah, you watch it now. It's all
just
terrible.
horrific.
It's all awful.
It's just horrific.
Yeah.
Still my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
But just absolutely terrible.
So Pink Flamingos, G.I. Joe.
No. It's G.I. Joe.
Pinwheels.
Pink flamingos. Pinwheels are somewhere in there. But G.I. Joe's everything.
Pinwheels are
Don't hate on pinwheels, bro.
I'm not hating on pinwheels.
I was a weird kid in the sense that I loved, I used to get really excited when the flowers outside my house would bloom in the spring. I used to get really excited about coming home and watching like the buds like flower over like a few weeks. We had those.
I used to get excited about coming home and watching.
What were those bushes called?
I used to get excited about coming home to
Hydrangeas.
play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
that was a long.
Watch flowers.
I was in high school when that came out. I wasn't excited about flowers anymore. But I remember like in the spring. I remember in the springtime, we had these like bushes in front of my house. They were the ones that rhododendron or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like
real
what?
bush.
Like were the ones with the small like purple flower, the small red flower, the small white flower. You know what I'm talking about? Like
No.
shit. Maybe it's just an East Coast thing. I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway, they we had these bushes, like these squat bushes in front of my house, and they would bloom into these beautiful flowers. I remember getting real excited about that when I was a kid.
That's
how young? How? Yeah, give me ages on that one now.
like maybe like early elementary school or something like that.
Okay.
Was this before or after you wrote down all the stats from NHL hockey?
This was before.
Okay.
I started doing that in 4th grade. I did that from 4th grade to 8th grade. I used to do that religiously. And I used to sim Monopoly games as well, as we've talked about. I have binders. I should bring them home. I have binders full of like stats that I kept. It's like sad.
One day
Sad.
they're gonna. I just hope that one day the FBI doesn't need to look for those binders for any reason. I'm just putting that out there
Why? Are they
because that's some shit that Unabombers do. Where they're like, like I don't think you're ever gonna kill anyone. I trust you with my life, like implicitly. Like if it was like dark room, lots of sharp objects, I would trust you to like navigate me through that. But like, yeah, that's some weird. That's very type A, very analytical, very retentive stuff.
It was weird, dude. Like I don't know if you guys remember the old NHL games, but yeah, I'm sure you don't. But old sports games in general, they used to just have they didn't have there wasn't enough memory on the cartridges or a battery to save a season, so you'd just play exhibition games. That was it, or you play playoffs, but you had to play them all at once. But they'd have this thing when you hit start where you can like change your goalie or edit your lines, whatever. There would just be out of town scores. Do you guys remember this? It would just say out of town scores. You click on it, it's just like random. I don't know why they did it.
to make you feel more immersed.
Yeah, I guess so. And so I used to play my games and then go into the stat sheets and then like write down who scored the goals, the assists, TOI, which is time on ice, penalty minutes, shots, plus minus, all that kind of like all the minutia of these stats. Then I would go into the out of town scores and write all the scores down and then fill in the standings for all the scores, and then like have this algorithm based on how good or bad players were on each team, where I would figure out who scored the goals and which goalie was in and how many shots they had and stuff like that. I kept these fantastic books full of stats that like kept me totally busy, and I used to commentate the games like when I would play them too.
Let's plays.
Oh yeah, that's not out of the. I mean, I did that all the time.
I loved it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fun as hell. Like I would just, you know.
I did it a lot for the wrestling games
That's
I
so
played.
amazing
and then,
to me.
college
Like, I would-
football.
Sorry to interrupt you.
It's fine.
I do it all the time. I'm trying not to.
It's okay.
I would not have put that much effort into anything when I was in the 4th grade. Nothing.
Oh,
If my life depended on it.
I used to throw all the time. You know, like Kelly Kissio feeds the point. Pat Falloon takes the puck behind the net. Patrick Waz up against the post. Falloon feeds Kissio in front. Score 1-0 Sharks.
Is that how much? Energy you put into it?
Oh no, I was more excited.
I was gonna say.
But the sad thing is, I was
I've
so
listened to hockey. Oh my
I
God,
was well. Those guys weren't really like around when I was a kid, or they were, but they were like local. You know, like the really excited, exuberant guys.
Yeah.
They grew to national prominence later, but we grew up with like Gary Thorne and Bill Clement and stuff, like a little more slower tempo announcers. But I The scary thing is that was before a time when it would just show the number of the player in their position. So it would say like 8C, and that meant it was number 8 in the center. And I knew every player, like just by that.
You
Like,
knew
I
national hockey?
was obsessed with hockey in the 90s. Like I knew everything.
Did you collect cards?
Yeah, I have boxes full of cards. Like not even like binders, but just boxes of cards I didn't even put in binders. Like just an absurd amount. I mean, I don't know if they're worth any money. They probably are.
They probably are not.
Probably with a lot.
That's the problem. Was we came up in the time where our parents had been screwed out of their millions of dollars by their parents making them throw away comics. So then we all start collecting cards and comics and all this other junk. Superman action figures, mint on cards. You're like, I'm gonna retire off this one day, and none of that crap's worth anything because everybody thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, if everybody thinks to throw them away and you hold on to your stuff, maybe you got a chance.
Well, I mean, I think like things like Pokemon cards kind of went through that thing where it's like, oh my god, these are so rare and you need them and you can sell them eventually,
Yeah.
and then it just everyone got them, so they're worth nothing.
Exactly.
But now, if you try to get them, like it's that retro thing where it's like getting a Charizard card's like costly.
Yeah.
Like you'd think, oh, I
What
go
are
on
we
eBay
talking?
and buy it
Ballpark
for
it for me.
$10. I mean, last I checked, probably like 200
Okay.
something
It's not bad.
for one
It's not
card.
great.
Like
Yeah, if you want, like, if you're a
I would
collector.
assume at this point that you can get that for like $10,
Yeah.
and that's shipping and all that. But nope.
This is something that's been shoved under my bed forever that I meant to tell you about forever ago. But when we went to visit Steimer's folks last Christmas or whatever, she was talking about how her and her sister collected Lion King and like Aladdin cards. And they
Oh,
thought
really?
these were going to be worth a bunch of money. And her parents were like, we still have those. And
That's
so we went downstairs and
amazing.
got those binders. And I Googled it while we were looking. I'm like, this whole set's worth $2 right now. On
Yeah,
eBay.
just
But-
like the trading card game, or
Yeah.
not trading card game. The like just collectible random trading card stuff. They would just come in little packs.
Oh, sure.
I love those so much. Like I remember
Yeah.
I had so many Disney ones. I have the entire collection of the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Nice. That's
The
a good one, huh?
collectible
John
cards.
Leguizamo.
It was a holographic Yoshi.
I remember what a big
Baller.
deal it was to trade Matt Noel for my final Terminator 2 card that I needed or whatever. It's the one with like Schwarzenegger when he cut off his, he cut off the arm and it's just the robot hand. Like that was the one I needed, and I searched and searched and searched. And when I got to it, he's like, "Well, what did you trade me for?" And I had all these doubles. I'm like, "All these doubles. I just want to complete this collection and be done with it."
Yeah.
That was him melting in the lava. It was molten.
How excited for Genesis are you?
I actually am excited for Genesis.
Genesis looks rad.
The trailer looks so ridiculous that I have to see it.
Yeah.
So
Taking everything you know
ridiculous.
about Terminator, turning it on its head.
Turning out that, and which is
There's
funny
a
because that's
Y
already
in
happened.
Genesis.
Yeah, I don't understand the spelling errors, but that's no big deal. We'll figure it out. I'm sure when we get there. Skynet
Yeah.
style.
There's a hashtag involved, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it.
The
It's
rise
got Emily
of
Clark in
Skynet.
it. She's hot.
Is that
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi? Yeah.
Yeah, that's her and
It's weird. It takes me out of it. Like she's one of those actresses where I'm like, no, you are Khaleesi. You're
Yeah.
not this other
Stop doing
character.
other things.
Yeah, just stop.
she's a good actress though. I feel like she could pull it off. We'll see.
You
Yeah.
basing that
Still
on
out.
you basing it on that Khaleesi?
Yeah, she's good and she's really good in Game of Thrones. Like her character arc has been pretty
Her
awesome.
eyebrows
going.
show a lot of emotion.
She does.
She does have emotive eyebrows, much like Colin.
He's thinking, that was amazing. That was great.
My
I love
topic.
that.
We've been talking about movies a lot.
Yo.
On the way here, I saw something very interesting in the Kansas City Star, where I go for all my news. JK, it was on Reddit. AMC to test monthly movie subscription service.
Interesting.
This is stolen from the New York Times. I don't know why it takes me there. Blah, 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 blah. Now a major movie theater chain is trying to step onto the subscription gravy train as it seeks to reverse audience declines, especially among young moviegoers. AMC Theaters, the number 2 chain in North America behind Regal, has agreed to pilot a partnership with MoviePass, a 3-year-old company focusing on letting people attend a movie a day for one monthly fee. I want to know how we feel about this.
How much is it?
And what we pay for it. What would you pay for a movie a day for a month? What
Well, I can go up to a movie day. I'm honestly not gonna go a movie day. I'd pay $39.99 a month for that.
Tim,
I don't like this a day business.
why?
Because-
what, do you want to see multiples in a day?
Yeah.
No, they're saying you can see up to. Oh, you want to see more than one movie in one day?
Yeah.
A 3-year-old company
Tell you
focused on
what,
letting
movies,
people
right?
attend a movie a day for one monthly fee.
I think maybe they're just saying like you can go to 30 movies if you want.
Oh, okay. If that's the case.
I think they're saying, it sounds like they're saying 1 month. One
One a day.
One a day.
Interesting.
I'm going to read a little bit.
Because
You
that's
keep thinking.
I
You
don't
keep
like
thinking.
that. I like.
Well, then just hop around and screw them over. Like
Let's say
everybody always
$30.
does.
30,
$30.
$29.99. Let's say $29.99.
and I wouldn't use it every month.
Yeah, see, my problem is if it's a subscription model that you'd have to sign up for and have a yearly subscription to, I don't like having to see a movie. That's
You
my
feel like you
problem.
have to go see it.
Yeah, I would feel like in order to get benefit, like value out of it, I would have to go to 2 movies a weekend or something like that. Depending on the price, of course. Sean Finnegan was telling me about there actually is a theater chain in LA that was doing that for a while, but it was like $30. And so you had to see, there's a threshold where you have to see a certain, if it's $7 a ticket or $8 a ticket, how many movies would you have to see to make it
worth it,
to get your money back and make it valuable? And it turned out, I think with him in this instance, it had to be 6. And he was like, I love movies, but I can't see 6 movies at a theater. I don't have time for that. Like I can go once a weekend. So 4 would be my threshold. How much is a ticket right now? About $10. So it would have to be.
No, it's more than $10.
Is it more than $10? $12.
$39.99.
11.
I
right?
might.
12.
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't ever go anymore.
usually when I go to see movies, it ends up costing about $15.
I always get it on Fandango. It's always like, here's tax and service fees, and like,
And, like,
they have that
fees
weird
and,
like, hey, this is a convenience fee.
Yeah.
Like, fine, it's pretty convenient, but I guess I don't want to pay this fee.
I feel like if this whole thing had like real life RPG elements to it, I feel like it would entice me a bit
What,
more.
like you're leveling up, like Starbucks?
Yeah, stuff like that. Where if it was like, if it was actually enticing me to see more movies, I feel like that could be cool and interesting.
Okay. What's your number? What's your threshold?
To see a movie, like as many movies, but you're talking about basically as many movies as you want in a month. I would say $20.
Wow.
Wow, that's a low.
You love movies. You go to
I
movies
know,
all
but
the
I don't
time.
think I can get out. Well, okay, $30.
All right. The subscription passes that were offered in January in Boston and Denver. I'm sorry, what they're going to do in Boston and Denver, and they'll add more cities soon. You have the $35 package for normal movies, $45 for like something different, which I mean IMAX or whatever.
IMAX or
Yeah,
3D.
3D.
So even cheaper than I would have paid. I would do $35. I mean, I feel like that would get me to the movies.
See that's what I think about it too. Is like, I like the movies. I do like movies.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I like going to the movies, but then like it's such a. I always bitch about it, right? Of like we wanted to go see after we shot a conversation with Colin. Christine and I wanted to go see
Wild?
What was it? What was it? I told-
Interstellar.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Whatever. Birdman. We were gonna go see
Birdman.
Birdman, and like I was like, we'll only go to the Kabuki because I can book a seat there at least. And then all of them were way up close. We're like, well, we're not even gonna go now. It's too much. I don't want to be up close. And blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so then we're like, we'll go tomorrow. And then something else happened. We didn't go because like, the time schedule's not gonna work. Stupid stuff like that. But again, if I had this, I feel like I would be. Well, I got to make this worth it. I got to see at least this many movies a month.
That's my problem, though, is that movies are the one thing that I reward myself with, and having to put any sort of constraints on
Make it
top
be
of
a
it,
chore.
where it's like, and I'm like having it feel like it's the gym membership, where it's like I'm paying for it, but I'm not really using it. So should I cancel that? Oh shit! And then it's a stress factor that I just don't need in my
The
life.
other big thing though that I think would stop me from getting it, but should motivate you, is you have a bunch of movie theaters right by you.
I do.
We have no movie theaters over here. If you want to go see the movies, it's a car ride, it's parking, it's this, it's that. Maybe it's a cab ride.
The only problem is the movie theaters that I still have to take my car to any Cineplexes. All the movie theaters I have are only 3 screens. So by thinking about that, there's only maybe 1 or 2 movies out a month in those screens that I'd want to see.
I see.
So otherwise, I have to go to the AMC at Van Ness or the Metreon.
Yeah, and I don't trust theaters like that.
I love those theaters though. They remind me of, I
That's where
love
you get the bed
neighborhood
bugs,
theaters.
everybody.
You don't get
The bed bugs
Yeah.
and the semen on the seats. That's
They
good.
That
often-
stuff, and also I feel like at this point our TVs are nicer than that shit.
No, they actually the theaters, the screens near me, they went all digital. So they have all new screens and they're digital projectors. They're actually really nice. The good sound systems. Except now that the sound systems are so good, you really kind of start experiencing the age of the theaters because they're not soundproofed. So Interstellar was next to me and I was watching like some rom-com with my wife. I can't remember what it was. And at every line there was like gone.
I hate that.
Oh, I was like, whoa, man, that movie's
is
crazy.
getting
Here's something
serious.
interesting. The whole article is talking about how movies and movie theaters are fucked, and
Yeah.
they are just trying to catch up and they can't do it. Millennials, they ingest content in a different way. You're not a millennial.
I'm a damn millennial.
You're not.
You were
You're
born in
old.
the '89. You were just trying to tell us you were an '80s kid. You can't have it both ways, Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
If I have to choose one, I'm a millennial.
Oh man, wrong.
Vince
choice.
McMahon doesn't get your generation, and he never will. Anyways, trying to catch up. This is one. Last month, for instance, AMC offered members of its rewards program, AMC Stubs, the chance to see Interstellar as many times as they wanted for $19.99 to $34.99, depending on the viewing
hell
format.
would you do that?
That's the Sean Finnegan special. Do you know how many times Sean saw Interstellar?
No,
I think it was 4.
I think it was 4 times.
I know he
yeah.
went and saw Her a bunch of times.
And
He
those,
really
those
liked
are
her.
long movies.
Sean loves it. He loves
Yeah.
film though.
He loves film. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
really
that's it's
appreciates
one of
the
those. He's I think an exception to the rule. Right?
Minority.
See,
yeah.
this gets me excited because I've been trying to make a point literally for years, probably 4 or 5 years, to get back onto the movie train.
Can't do it though. We try.
I try and I just can't do it. But I feel like, because I really used to go to the movies all the time. Like I was really from when I was a child to through college, I would go to the movies all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Like multiple times a month.
Yeah.
And I saw everything that I wanted to see. There was never a movie came out and I was like, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Now there's every movie that comes out, I'm like, I didn't see it. And I'm looking for a way to get back into it. I enjoy film. I don't know anything about it, but I enjoy it. And like
digital.
I still that's what I'm saying is I still feel like, I know you feel very strong about the movie theater, and I think movie theaters have a place. I like going to them. They're fun. They're fine. Not all the time though. But I think that like we could all benefit from the fucking the publishers of these movies or whatever, the production companies, to just release the goddamn movies day and date.
Preach, brother.
Even for $20 or something like that.
Preach it.
Interstellar, not like go to the theater and see Interstellar in this beautiful screen, this great sound system, or buy it for $20 and watch it on your fucking TV. Like just do it already.
Yeah, I
what
don't
everyone
know.
so scared of?
I'm really conflicted.
Money?
I want there to be a thing that saves theaters. I'm not a smart
They're always
enough
going to
man.
be there.
They won't though. Like
Mega
remember when we
popcorn.
said you thought that like things like Tower Records or Warehouse would always be there.
Nope. I never remember saying that. Those people were stupid. If
I
they
would
said that.
would have thought that right
That's
back
always-
in the
this
90s.
is
I was
always
like,
gonna be
never
like-
gonna be anything like that.
This is like when theater or movies came around, they thought they were going to put theaters out of business or whatever. Like when TV came around, it's going to put radio out of business. Like it's going to get to be a smaller market share for sure, but it'll still be there to be the boutique experience.
Yeah, but radio is so much cheaper. Like there's so much more infrastructure you need with movies.
But you're
and,
gonna
like,
with the movie thing. I'm we've had this conversation before on the show about digital distribution. Like the movies are gonna make that money up front faster, and it's gonna look more successful. This weekend I watched Life After Beth, which is an independent movie with Aubrey Plaza, and then Sex Tape, Cameron Diaz and Jason
was Sex
Segel.
Tape?
It was fun. And it was
Really?
one of those things. I saw the trailer when I was on a Virgin flight come back. I was like, that actually looks kind of good. But I'm sure if I saw that on TV during I guess on the internet before I did something else, it would not have motivated me to go out and see it. But I rented it for the $6 or whatever, and I was like, I had a really good time with that. That was a fun movie. And it's like, wouldn't you want that $6 on opening weekend from me, who wouldn't come out and see it? And again, if it scales, maybe that's where it breaks down and gets different.
I think so too. I think this reminds me a lot of digital distribution with video games, because clearly Sony and Microsoft and the third parties would love to just have digital distribution. They would love it. They cut out GameStop and all the merchandise guys. Products would become cheaper. It would become cheaper to make. It would help, and it would help everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the stores that they rely on to sell hardware and get people in the stores buy games, because it takes acclimation to get to that point. I think the same thing's true with the movie studios. I bet you that they would love to do something like that, because they can make their movies cheaper. They don't have to distribute their movies. They don't have to make any cuts with the movie theaters. They cut out the middleman. They go straight to the consumer. And even if they only save, I know that movie theaters don't make a ton of money on the tickets. They make a ton of money on their concessions, but I feel like they could lower their margin, and make more money by just going straight to the people and being like, well, you can have the movie theater experience, or we'll just, I don't think it could be $6.
Well, you have to remember,
I think it would literally
sure.
be $19.99, because you can have all your friends over and watch the movie.
Yeah.
See, I think yes, it's different for games though, because games don't have they don't have windows, right? A game comes out and its windowing is DLC, where 6 months later or 2 months later they have DLC that drops and you start making more and more money off the game, or you have there's all sorts of manners of making consistent money in games. Movies, you have the importance of the theater is that everything builds up to that, right? And then that is the window, the window that it's in theaters, right? We've already seen a huge decline in DVD sales and Blu-ray sales because digital distribution has basically killed that market, or is killing that market to a certain degree.
Fuck it.
So, same with CDs, except you're crazy and you still buy CDs, which I don't know where you get them
Blu-rays.
still. Blu-rays are still huge for a number of reasons, but yeah, I mean the DVD market, it used to be the home video market, right? And that thing's doesn't exist anymore. Now it's the digital distribution market, which is sort of video on demand. But video on demand was a big market, right? You had video on demand in hotels, airlines. You had all that stuff. Your cable box. Eventually, you had video on demand and all that things, right? Those markets are starting to go away as everything becomes homogenized into that one day and date digital distribution. So they're trying to figure out ways to have it sort of not pitfall on them, right? And not completely destroy the industry, because you don't have that many opportunities. I mean, you have a ton of opportunities back in the day to make money off of films, but not so much anymore, if that makes sense.
The Nielsen company said last week that the movie going of Americans aged 12 to 24 dropped 15% in the first 9 months of 2014 compared with attendance in the same period of last year. Total attendance has declined about 5% so far this year compared with last, according to box office analysts, because of fewer broad appeal films and about a dozen more modest movies.
I think that they're almost making excuses. I just feel like the precipitous fall is going to happen regardless. There are big movies this year. I agree, I hear what you're saying. To be fair, games a new game sells a vast majority of its copies in 2 weeks. So you have 14 days to make most of your money back, or you're screwed.
Right.
And I'm sure movies have the same conundrum, but I can't help but wonder if the movie studios must embrace what the music industry ultimately had to embrace with iTunes, which was like, this is going to happen, and we can either get in on it now and make our money and accept that we are going to shrink, or we just shrink and don't accept it. Because I think that is what's happening.
Even if we could compromise on a level of the TV shows, right? Where I love Walking Dead. If I miss Walking Dead on a Sunday or whatever, I can buy it on iTunes Monday morning.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about those getting your views on it first night, then or in this opening weekend, great. But then Monday or Tuesday, put it out on digital distribution so I can get it.
Sure.
Because if I'm not motivated enough to get out on that weekend,
you're talking TV though. TV's a whole different ball of
I'm saying take TV and apply it to this.
They're dying.
You can't just every time we say something, do it like these other people. You and your Hollywood elite fascist people can't keep putting us down with saying it's not. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
No, it's just TV's in a much worse off place actually.
Oh yeah, they're screwed.
Like network television.
People like us.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it is because of that millennial gap, right? It's just, people just like that core demographic, that all important, incredibly important. Like I guess it's 17 to 35 demographic is that on the 17-year-old side, they don't care about TV anymore.
Yeah.
And they cannot get ratings. Like they were talking about the gap between the highest rated show and the lowest rating show not being that big anymore, which is a really scary thing. Like think about that. Like you used to have Seinfeld that was like a titan. And then you had really crappy shows that were like riding on its coattails, like could be made because of all the money. Friends was that was just terrible. It was rubbish. Didn't make any money. But you don't have that anymore. Like name, like other than The Big Bang Theory and Modern Family, which I think are two really big shows. Like there's not that big chasm anymore of success. Arrow doesn't make that much money.
Flash. I'm joking. I know.
Yeah, that's the problem. And it's a great show, but it's because it's a great show for us. We're all above 30 almost. Tim, you're like what? 39, 40?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's he's a millennial slash and 80s.
But do you even watch like Arrow or Flash?
Millennial 80s kid.
And what is your proven sort of like when you go home? What do you do for entertainment? Not in the confines of your own bathroom. Slow beat.
Watch a lot of YouTube.
You watch a lot of YouTube, and that's the problem, right? Is that not a problem for us because we're on YouTube and we're because we're smart kids, but dude, that traditional mainstream media doesn't get it. They don't understand how to bring it back.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that we're all so fractured, both young, old, and this. I forget what we're talking in the office today about movies, and somebody was talking about all these great movies, and I'm like, I haven't seen anything. And they're talking about TV, and I'm like, no, I go home when I play games or I do something on the internet.
There's only so many hours in the day. That's the biggest problem. The TV market's gonna be the first. It's already cratering, but it's gonna be the first to totally be different in a few years, I think. And we're already seeing with a la carte, kind of like HBO and Showtime are gonna go that way. Netflix is already making better shows than most of the networks.
Yep.
So like,
House of Cards, what?
Like House of Cards is coming back, and that show is fucking awesome. And then random ass like PBS is helping fund Downton Abbey and getting that from their British broadcasters or whatever, and it's like that's better than fucking anything on TV.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: the BBC has a way better model for television than we do. They make 4 to 6 episodes of that's their season. We, for some reason, back in like up until about a few years ago, were like, we got to make 23 episodes of television. That's absurd.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's too much. And yeah, you think about it, when it made sense when you couldn't record TV because then you strung along the audience for 23 consecutive weeks, or if they did that crap where it's like week 6 you stop, then you bring it back. Like that was horrible.
The Smallville model.
Yeah, the Smallville model.
Hey, what's happening in the middle? Nothing. It doesn't matter. Skip it.
But yeah, now they're 12, 13 episodes per season, and when you watch something like Sherlock, it's 3 episodes,
and they're basically movies,
and they're awesome. And it makes sense, but you have to find a different way to make money off it. You can't do ads anymore, and that's what terrifies people. Is like so much of the infrastructure and so much of the revenue in that industry is driven by baking ads into something, and now they have analytics that prove that no one even sees those ads unless it's a live piece of television, which is why #PeterPanLive was a worldwide phenomenon of awesomeness.
What? How? Give me some Captain Hook lines.
It was terrible. Peter, grow up. Why aren't you old yet? I'm old. God, it's just getting worse, guys.
Well, I feel like what you're saying with the 24 episode thing was true, but just because, like, and it made sense when we were kids. We were excited about that. From September to March, you can watch new episode. You know, the guys from Miller Boyette were in a room in the late 80s, and they're like, we got to give these kids 24 episodes a year. Sandy Duncan on Hogan Family.
Yep.
You know, and they were stoked about Sandy Duncan being on fucking Hogan Family for 24 episodes a year. But I agree with you. When I watched Sherlock, I only watched the first season. I was really into it, and I was just like, this is awesome because these are just movies.
Yeah,
they're like literally almost 2 hours each. You know, and it was like a self-contained story, and it was great. And even Downton Abbey is like 7 or 8 episodes, beautifully made, beautifully written, way better than anything that's on that I've seen anywhere on TV, including AMC. You know, like so, and AMC's obviously churning out some good stuff, especially with Mad Men, which is fucking high
like Game of
caliber.
Thrones, 10 episodes.
Yeah,
you know, but see that's crazy because it's like then you're left with pretty much a year waiting for the next season.
Yeah, it
And that
sucks.
sucks.
But it's worth
Game
it
of Thrones
if we
could be
had
bigger.
more things like Game of Thrones, right? Like,
well, that's
Yeah.
what HBO's so good at. Is
That's
when
what they're really
something something great ends, something great begins, or whatever. So like when Game of Thrones went away, I think then they started up Newsroom, right? And now,
They did.
granted, this final season of Newsroom was only 5 or 6 episodes, and it was like I
think it's because they didn't even want to do it.
well, I mean, it works because that was the whole thing. It sucked to see that show go. I love Newsroom or whatever, but like it also ends and it's like, man, that was great, and I loved the entire ride. There wasn't some season I dropped out in the middle of and was like, oh, I'm not doing this.
Aaron
again.
Sorkin wasn't beating you over the head with his Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
No, he was, but I like that. I like that once in a while. Shut up, you love The West Wing.
I love The West Wing because I feel like the Aaron Sorkin meter is off the charts in Newsroom.
Oh,
I feel like it's
so
not.
is.
I mean, Aaron Sorkin is all over The West Wing, but I don't feel like the Aaron Sorkin meter is off the charts. In The West Wing.
He did, and I've only seen
Peter.
a couple episodes. Peter, it's fine. Peter, what are you doing? Come get a drink with me. You can't. You're not old enough. You gotta be older, Peter.
I want to watch a sizzle reel. I'm gonna go on YouTube after this and just see if I can find all of the Captain Hook moments from that.
You probably
'Cause
can.
I haven't watched it yet.
They were pretty amazing. No, the problem with the Newsroom, I think, was that it was a little too Sorkin. I think he had a lot of creative power in that one.
Yeah.
And they just let him go. I liked West Wing because it was a little more fair and balanced. Like you'd always have the more conservative character matched up against the more liberal character, and they would go at it, and you would come away like understanding both sides of every argument. Whereas I feel like the Newsroom just didn't do that so much. It's a little bit more preachy, so to speak. But yeah, I feel like if the film industry sadly needs to go through a transformation, as does television, and this is a good step, the subscription model. But I don't.
So
think
would
there's
you
any
do?
saving
Would you sign up for $35?
I don't think that I would, honestly.
Tim, would you sign up?
I don't think there's enough movies that come out. Like I
That's the
was
problem.
thinking back to this year. There's not that many movies that like $35. That's about how much I spent in May of 2014.
Yeah.
Which is Godzilla, X-Men,
Captain America 3? No.
no, it was April
Or 2, excuse me.
But I know Maleficent came out around then. I didn't see that, but I
You
would
didn't
have.
miss much.
Like there was like Guardians was August. I remember from May to August it was like, oh, Spider-Man was in there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Pretty much every weekend
Spider-Man.
we were going to the theaters. And besides that, I mean, it was just like once every 2 months, maybe.
Well, I feel like this is going to be really good if you have a family, right? Where you buy them like some sort of pass, or if they have a bulk pass, or you buy everyone and you can just go see a ton of movies. Because I used to have a friend that worked at Blockbuster, and I was like, who rents all of these Transmorpher movies? When they make the crappy Transformers is coming out in like 2 weeks and Transmorphers, and he goes, families, man. Like when you've got a family, like you've got to take them somewhere. You have to do stuff with them. So maybe this will work out.
Well, see,
Sounds thrilling.
that's the same reason I think that movie theaters are going to survive as just a boutique experience. Because when you go on a date, you're still going to take your date to the movie theaters. It's an easy date.
But will we still have giant cineplexes, right?
Do we need giant cineplexes? I much prefer the small one, the iPix Theater, where you go there and it's like super, super boutique, 20 seats. They come and wait on you. They give you the food.
Yeah. I think for me, the reason I want...
I brought Kevin around. Kevin was shaking his head when I said no cineplexes.
no.
And I was like, they bring you the food and the drinks. And he's like, all right. Yeah.
The reason I think I love the Cineplex, the giant Cineplex, has less to do with the actual experience and more to do with what it stands for to me, which is that movies were always a big freedom in America, 100%. These colors don't run, Greg. They don't run.
Well, college kids need jobs.
No, it's that to me a film release was a huge event, right? It always felt that way, and I would always follow. I still to this day follow films through their inception of like the first time you hear something about them. Like for instance, James Bond just got Spectre just came out. You see the first poster. They show the picture of the slate, right? And it's like, what scene is that? And just diving into that, doing the Tim Gettys, like I'm gonna just pick this thing apart. and just live it until it comes out. And it's this big rush of energy, leading up to this giant mega Cineplex that you're like, which theater am I going to get? Hopefully it's not the one with the fucking Coke stain on it that some douchebag threw at the screen. And then, you like when we went and saw Dark Knight, that was amazing, right? Seeing that with 400 other people in a theater, you can't be beat, but it is going to go away, and it sucks.
How much cooler was it when you saw The Dark Knight Rises?
I saw that in a boutique theater with my wife after my bachelor party. So it was actually, I was so glad that I survived that weekend. That movie could have been 15 hours of Bane just reading an encyclopedia, and I would have liked it.
Aardvark. I want to make it a point in 2015, though, regardless. I'm going to put up the fake word irregardless of going to the movies multiple times a month. Nick, will you go to the movies with me multiple times a month?
Yes, I'd love to. I would love to.
We should just map out a game plan every month.
I like seeing any movie. I don't think there is. I mean, it's a bold statement.
If you're doing this, buy the pass. Y'all just said you wouldn't buy.
Yeah, but again, my problem is I don't just go to AMC's, right? Like
now you do
I
because
go
you
to
have
the
the
Lee
pass.
neighborhood theaters most of the time, but
The Lee neighborhoods.
Lee neighborhood theaters, man, the bomb. Tim knows what's up.
I don't know what's
They're
up.
on Chestnut Street, and
What about Rogers? You know
Okay,
Rogers?
I got you.
Tommy Lee Jones giving you the... Okay, I'll be quiet.
I will go see movies with you. I don't mind paying the full price for them either. I don't need a bargain to go see movies. I will pay the full price.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to multiple movies a month.
I love.
I'm saying roughly 2.5 to 5 movies a month.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see probably.
I like the
2.5.
half that you're gonna just walk out
yeah.
on. Like, nah.
No. I'm just saying on average we should be going to 2.5 movies to 5 movies a month.
That's a lot of
See how long that lasts.
Yeah.
It won't even begin probably. No, I'm hoping it does because I'm trying to make a point. I feel like it's a huge gap in my knowledge the last 7 years or so. Like I just don't have any frame of reference on film anymore at all.
You saw Lincoln. You saw American Pie.
Well,
Reunion.
that Lincoln might have been. Oh no, Batman was. What was the last movie I saw? I saw my own documentary that I did.
My own documentary.
But
But that doesn't count. But that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
About hockey.
It was about video game. World 1-1. It's called.
I haven't
I
seen that.
narrated
Is
it,
it on
and I was
Can I
in
buy
it.
that?
I think it might be. I don't know.
All right.
It will be. I think they're working on it. That was the premiere, and it was only like a month ago.
Really? I thought it was longer than that.
No, it was about a month ago.
All right.
I forgot what I was saying.
Did you see
Peter.
Interstellar?
Let's go see more
No,
movies.
not yet.
Really?
Peter,
No, I
it's
haven't seen
fine.
it either.
You
What?
gotta.
I didn't see Interstellar. I didn't see Gone Girl. I didn't see... What's another
Oh,
movie you really like this
God.
year that I haven't seen?
Gone Girl's coming out soon.
Yeah, I know.
You,
January.
Gone Girl
I've been
blew
checking.
you away.
Fucking Gone Girl.
I can't wait. Everything I hear is good.
Emily
But again,
Ratajkowski, man, that girl.
Man.
I would have given you my money when you were out if you would have just been on demand. Now you gotta wait. Gone Girl. Sorry, Ben Affleck. You don't get another boat.
I think it's out on demand now.
It probably
I-
is.
I-
No,
well,
it's,
the
it's probably out
DVD
to be sold. You have
It
to
is
buy it.
attainable on the internet. I know that much.
Here's the one thing that before we finish this topic, and we'll talk more about this in the coming years, but the one reason I am for the day and date is because it sort of evens the playing field a little bit. Lately, I've been watching a lot of indie films, a lot of independent films that have low budgets, and it's my hope is that to modern like new audiences that come in, they look at these things like a film that's made for $1 million or less than $1 million, an indie film, quote unquote, on the same level as a Gone Girl if they're both out the same day, right? It's harder competition, but at the same time, I feel like it's really difficult to compete as a creator or as a filmmaker this day and age with a studio that's only making $200 million films, you know? So it's cool to see guys like Mark Duplass or things like that, like guys, artists like that, be able to put something out and still make their money back and still creating content.
Okay.
Bye. That's it. That's my long diatribe on film.
Colin,
Yes.
it's your topic, but before we begin, I want to say to everybody watching on YouTube, Merry Christmas.
Oh, wow.
This is the episode that goes live on Christmas.
Jing jing jinglings.
Ting
Damn.
da ba ba dee
Put thought into that.
boo.
Is it
Come
on,
on, it's
hey,
lovely
papa,
weather
dabba,
for a
dabba,
sleigh
dabba,
ride
dabba,
together
dabba,
with
dabba.
you. Tim, I'm crooning right now.
You're crooning.
I'm crooning right now.
Yeah. I
I'm
thought
a
crooning
crooner.
for magicians.
Tim saw.
That was so awesome.
I have an insult from Courtney Williams.
Oh, we have an insult from Courtney Williams. Yes, Kevin. What do you got for me? All right.
Greg Miller once went to Barney's Rooftop Deck restaurant for lunch and ordered a niçoise salad and called it a Nicoy salad.
You totally pronounced Niçoise wrong.
That's a line
You
from White Girls, I believe.
Yes.
I don't think.
Fool.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Of course, if you want to insult me on the Game Over Greggy show, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. Right there. You support us for $11. Kevin insults me through you.
I feel like we should open more
You
of those.
insult
We
me
should do
through
4 to
Kevin.
5 insults per show.
Okay. I'm sure. Bump
We
it up.
installed Greg 4 to 5 times a show ourselves. He's not
Oh,
too fat
dear.
anymore.
I said
Dog's
Merry
stupid.
Christmas and we sang
Sing
a
a song.
carol and then
Sing a
everyone.
Hey, for reals though, these carolers,
He's going red. He's beat red like a Christmas
these
ornament.
carolers need to stop.
Oh, man,
Like
Christmas
it's getting,
suck.
it's getting fucking.
What are you
rude
talking about
at this
bro?
point? If you're like nice little people doing stuff, little girls, little
Okay,
boys,
right.
children,
Not
and you're doing.
rewind it. Kev,
If you're just doing this because
let's
that's-
go.
Let's play on the
Me and Kevin are
snow.
sitting at this
Snow.
Thai restaurant. We're eating our Thai food, and all of a sudden these motherfuckers come in and just start playing guitar and singing extremely loud. And
Taking the
just
guy's
like-
guitar, just
it was
broken
so
it.
upsetting. And like the people that own the restaurant, you could see them like, what do we do? Like they just did not know how to handle it, and like none of us knew how to handle it. It was up. It was
Should've
upsetting.
joined in.
This is
They were
what you do
trying to
next
spread
time.
it was
cheer.
so-
This is what you do next
Oh
time.
yeah, then they start asking us for money and start walking by. I'm like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out.
You walk up to the guy playing guitar, and as he's playing, you just grab the struts. Just grab the bridge, everything together.
Man.
And just look him in the eyes. And don't say anything. Just look at him in the eyes until he leaves.
Well, I was gonna say you could just go up and just detune one of his strings.
That'd
See,
be
the biggest
hilarious.
problem though is like then you're
Or just
sitting
karate
here.
chop
There's
it.
a bunch of other tables around, and I'm like, are you guys? Is anyone actually into this? Because you don't want to be the guy that's like, stop Christmas. You know what
You
I
wanna
mean?
be the Grinch.
Because- Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty Grinchy.
You are Grinchy.
I'm a Grinchy ass Grinch. But fuck these guys. Like this is so rude to come into a place where we're eating our dinner. And to just like do this thing that's like, it's like me walking in with like speakers blasting rap music,
True.
like that you don't want to
True
hear.
that.
Like that's not cool. And then recently we were walking downtown somewhere, and there's just groups of people obnoxiously yelling at the top of their lungs, like they're all singing Jingle Bells, and it's like they're doing it just to be cute.
So you're saying this is some sort of epidemic that's happening in the city right now? That
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
aware
think
of?
I've
happens,
seen a
man.
person sing a Christmas
Neither
carol.
have I, ever in the 9 years
In
I've been in the
years.
city.
Really?
Yeah.
When I was in band in high school, I used to get a quartet together, and we would go to the Mission Inn Riverside.
You guys
Wow,
are the
this is
fucking
so
worst.
Stand
funny
there.
you say this.
And we would play music. We would play holiday music, and we just, you put the thing out, you'd make like $20.
Were you in
to go out with
turtlenecks?
it. Yeah, I probably was in turtlenecks back then.
Do you think you were badass?
I had a ponytail like Seagal.
You did not have a ponytail.
I had a ponytail like Steven Seagal. We talked
I
about
need
this.
to see this photo.
There's one photograph. I'll take a picture of it when I go back to my mom's house. There's one photograph of me, and I had this wicked widow's peak like Eddie Munster, but I couldn't grow all of the hair out like Seagal did because I didn't have patience for that. So I grew the top out and shaved the sides. That was a thing back in like the late 90s.
no.
Man.
And I did that for a while, and then I became drum major, and my band director at the time was like, my teacher at the time was like, you cannot have a ponytail and be drum major. I won't allow it. You've got to do it. You've got to
Get rid of
kill
it.
that thing. And so I was like very, very, I was like, oh, I can't do this, man. This is like my identity right now. And like, what would Steven Seagal say?
I already told you what he'd say. I'm just a cook.
I'm just a cook. So I shaved it. I cut my hair into like more of a faux hawk style thing, and literally the next day started dating, like discovered that girls thought I was way more attractive without that.
Yeah.
And I started dating one of the drill team members. I'll never forget. She was Filipino,
Yeah.
gorgeous girl. Really, really nice.
Drill team.
And I was
Yeah.
like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't everyone tell me that Steven Seagal was not cool anymore? Because he apparently, in 98, Steven Seagal wasn't
98.
great.
Fuck
Not
that.
great,
Steven
made
Seagal's
great
still
movies.
cool, dude. I don't
Wait, so how does
buy
this
that.
relate to Christmas carols?
Oh, because we used to go out and play Christmas carols I used to have, I played trumpet for a really long
Yeah.
time, like 12 years, something like that. So me and, I remember my buddy Adam Rich, Gareth, and I think maybe it was my buddy Clay. We'd go out and we'd form a quartet, and we'd play.
You make
Christmas
good money?
carols. No, but it was fun. And it was just something you did because it was like, how hard is it to play a good Deck the Halls,
Yeah. So this
Super
is
easy.
funny
You
to
can
me
sight read it.
because this goes against everything I just said about being obnoxious and being an asshole. But young Tim, there's stories. In middle school, there was this one girl that was so hot. And so me and my friends were like, let's go to her house. And we were all in band. And we were like, let's play Christmas songs for her. So we just played Ukrainian bell carols. You know that?
Just that whole chord. Did you have the other?
We
like,
never got to the da 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 da. We never got to
So you
that.
just played
we
that-
just kept doing the fucking
So you just
beginning
played that
over and
over
over. It's me. And it was me on trumpet and 3 dudes with flutes.
So
we just played it. We did it for so long until she finally, it was either her or mom. It was probably her mom. Came out with a bucket of water and
Holy
then poured it out the window and poured it on all of us.
So did they come out before and say please stop or hello even?
Nah, they just went straight to the water.
So my thing is this: if your goal was to get her eye, so to speak, or catch her eye, so to speak, or make her notice you, or make her like you, you went about it the complete, total wrong way.
Yeah, but Nick, keep in mind that today on Reddit there was the top upvoted picture was this dude on a subway reading a book.
Yes, how to pick up women.
Reading a
on the
book that
subway.
said how to pick up women on a subway. And Sean and Nick are like,
No, I thought it was genius.
did you?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a
Sean
Nick
was
move
just
right
like,
there. I would totally wear
that's
that.
the number one thing you don't do. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the number
Are you
one
kidding
thing
me?
you do.
I make
that
shirts
weeds out
with-
everyone you don't
I
want.
make
I don't
shirts
think-
like this. I
don't
love
think that
bold
guy
lettering.
was doing it in. It did not strike me as he was doing it as like a fun way to strike up conversations as much as it was just I'm reading the book.
He was doing it. He was. That's first off. That can't be a real book.
Really?
Are you Amazoning it?
No, I was gonna show Colin the photo because I know he doesn't use Reddit.
Because man, that is the best way to get someone with a good sense of humor.
I'll tell you this though: if you had that, you can take that to any situation. Like if you had a book that said how to pick up girls in bars, and you were reading that in a bar, that's pretty
Right?
baller. That's pretty genius. Like what girl? Every girl would look at you thinking you're an idiot, but the one girl that got it,
That's the one that matters.
that's the one that you buy a drink for.
Yeah.
That's the one you want to talk to.
That's the one that wouldn't pour water on you when you're playing Ukrainian bear.
Because I guarantee you're gonna have a girl come up to you and be like, "Genius, what's your name?" Keep going.
Would you like an apple pie with that? Oh my god! See, I was just about to say that. That was like one of the first viral videos ever on the internet. The ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done. Ding. Remember that?
Yeah.
No.
I remember it from Family Guy because Family Guy teaches me most of the things I missed on the internet and in the world. I can't find the photo, but the guy.
Have we discussed the topic yet?
No, we haven't even gotten to what your topic is.
Oh, it's Colin's topic. Wow.
Jeez.
I said, Colin, it's your topic, but before that, Merry Christmas, and then we went down this rabbit hole.
Let's switch gears real quick.
Maybe Colin's
Can we
topic would just
unpack
be
it?
Merry Christmas.
We could go back to Christmas with this topic very easily.
Oh, ooh.
The topic is this. I'm not sure how to eloquently put it, but I was thinking about going back to your childhood, but not like just going back and reliving random moments of any childhood, but like your own childhood, the things you remember and the things you would like to experience again, the things that make you feel warm and remind you of being a kid again. And like, when would you go back and for how long and at what age? You can go back as little or as much as you want to just experience a
I have
day
many
in the life
questions.
or a dinner or a week or a
Okay.
holiday.
So I get to come back, as I'm not trapped there. I'm not reliving my life. from
And
that
you might
point
not
forward.
live it literally the way it was, but you're not going to like alter history. It's not going to be no grandfather
So,
paradox.
okay, so that's my you're covering my questions. I'm not going back and then having to live my life from that point forward.
No,
Not
you
doing
can
that.
jump back and forth.
Am I jumping back and am I just watching it like a movie from my own eyes? Am I just watching it like a movie, like I'm watching myself run around? And
No,
do
I
that?
think you.
I like that because then else it gets weird.
You don't want to be.
No,
you.
you're experiencing it.
I want to. I would think that you could experience it as.
But I can't make choices. I'm just
no,
along
you
for the
can
ride
make
with the
choices.
little
I'm
Greg.
saying that you're not going to make any choices that would be out of the ordinary. You're going to live.
Do I have
You're
my
going to live
brain?
your normal life.
Do I have my brain now?
Yeah.
I guess you would have to because you can jump back and forth.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I
But
would go
maybe
back
not.
to when I was like 7 or 8, Christmas Eve, while all my parents were sitting around the adult table, and I would request a seat at that table. Then I would blow their fucking mind with like all the information that I knew and like I would predict
What are
the
you going to
future.
tell about the UFC?
Oh, I'd be like this. I'll tell you what thing. Mixed martial arts.
Do you still have your ponytail?
Apple. Invest in it right now. Huge dollars in that.
Huge,
okay?
huge.
Facebook, not so much the IPO. What's Facebook? Wait for it. It'll blow your mind. And they'd be
Yeah.
like, what's that? I'm like, you don't even know what that is yet.
Wow, my god.
That's called dropping the mic.
Let's dropping the mic. I'm making all sorts of things up, right? Then I would cartwheel out. Just cartwheel out.
Can you cartwheel?
Hell yeah, I can cartwheel. You know why I can
Bullshit,
cartwheel?
you
Because
can
when I was
cartwheel.
super chubby, I taught myself how to
you
cartwheel.
can't cartwheel.
I taught myself how to
Kevin, there's
cartwheel.
B-roll of this. The IGN E3 road trip
Yep.
video.
It's online. Because of Chris Farley. He could cartwheel.
Oh, right,
I thought
right,
it was
right.
funny, so I learned how to cartwheel. On
Cool.
my grass in my front yard while shadowboxing.
Nice.
But in reality, what would you want? All right, I'll give you an example. Okay, I remember before my parents got divorced, I would come home from school, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, go off the bus, and I had a Ninja Turtle like metal tray that they would put out like in the living room, and I would sit there and watch TV, and I would eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's how my mom would make me, and then I would like just go and like play with my GI Joes or my toys, like my blocks or whatever, and like play a Nintendo game or something like that. Like I want to just go back and relive a day like that.
Yeah.
And
a
just
good day.
like
nice.
remember what that is. But I also want to be cognizant enough to like absorb information that I want to know like what was going on. What were the like what car was in the driveway and like
Yeah.
what were my neighbors doing and like
What was the pinwheels up to?
yeah, what were the pinwheels up to and how were the flowers looking in front of the house?
That's a good one. Yeah, because when you started talking about down that kind of mundane activity, like I used to spend after school at my grandmother's, right, and watch like Batman animated series and Rich Coe's and the Coe Zone and all this different Chicago stuff and cartoons and stuff, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, all that stuff. Rob Paulson, shout out. I would love to go back and do that too. It was just like I remember she had this horrible shag carpet and like the feel of that, and then like the kitchen had this like weird textured floor to it, you know, just like those
Linoleum,
memories
probably.
and like the green fridge and all the and like the smell of her desk and all these different things that like I have those like subtle memories of that I just don't have much to. Because like I was talking, you know, out there I have that bookcase that has all my games on it or whatever. That's from her house and she had it forever. And it's like I remember when I was a kid how big that bookcase was and how long that bookcase was. And I remember when I was like, I requested that for whatever house I was moving into. Like, I knew my dad had all our furniture, and he brought it, and I was like, this is it? Like, I just remember it being, like, gigantic and so long, and there it is, and it's this tiny little thing. And she had a Tale of Two Cities on it and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I have this. I don't think I've ever even expressed this to anyone, but it's just a weird thing. Like, I had this box of blocks. My dad, like, used to do a lot of woodworking, and he would have all the scrap wood, and then he would craft it all into blocks for me. And I was obsessed with building shit. Everyone in my family thought I was gonna be like an architect or something when I was a kid because I was like obsessed with building. Like,
them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I used to build these like massive castles, like these fucking huge structures with these blocks, like hundreds of them, and they were like big wooden blocks, and they would just be massive, like all over my living room. I'd make these big complexes. And I would go back into my block, like I had them in my dad used to work work a side job as a produce guy, and he had all these like great peach boxes that were like indestructible, and so he'd bring them home and I put my blocks in, and I was going through them like in college or high school or something like that. I think it was in college, and I like just dumped them all out. And in one of them, and this is a weird thing, but in one of them was a blue carpet fiber for my old house that I grew up in. And like I was like, holy shit, you know, like I'm like that's just so weird. I'm like, this is just this blue carpet fiber, and I put it back in the box with the blocks. And every couple of years, I'd go and like dump them out again, and this carpet fiber would just be there. And I'd be
That's
like,
cool.
This is
That's
weird
cool.
touchstone to like my. Like, I'll never be back there again. That carpet's probably been ripped out of that house and thrown out and stuff like that. And then I was really bummed when, and I don't know why, it was just a nostalgic like touchstone. And then my nephews, you know, I have nephews and nieces now, and this was, you know, after I had left, you know, college, and they come and play with my old stuff. They don't touch my G.I. Joes, but they can play with it or anything they want. And they play with the blocks, and I remember going through them once, and the carpet fiber was gone.
Where's the fucking fiber?
I remember like my sister probably was just like, what is this? And like threw it out or whatever. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, that was like a weird touchstone I had in this box of blocks that
You
would
black
probably...
out, you wake up, the cops have you pinned down.
I don't know. It
You're
was just a weird thing. I'm a profoundly... Cheryl, my girlfriend, always makes fun of me for it, where, you know, I'm like hyper nostalgic. Like hype, like just crazy nostalgic. Not about like... about my own house and my own childhood and my own upbringing and like wanting to go back to that point. So this was where the question kind of came from, because I want to relive those days.
Yeah.
In a weird way, I want to be able to come back. I don't want to be there in perpetuity because it was probably fucking boring and I didn't like it that much. But I'd love another day of being 10 years old and just playing in the pool and not giving a fuck about anything. Think about like your mentality. Like, you didn't give a fuck about anything. Nothing mattered. You have no idea what anything meant. Like, no worry about money or bills or like your school is like whatever. Like, you know, like your life revolved around your friends and video games and fucking toys.
Yeah, it was awesome. And like the occasional chore.
Yeah, it's like, go mow the lawn and I'll give you...
No! Damn it!
But I was excited. I was like, my dad would be like, go mow the lawn and I'll give you $20 and we'll go buy like... You know, I remember like mowing the lawn and him going and buying me a TIE Fighter. You know, and I was like...
Deal.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I feel like there's
Fuck yeah, Dad.
there's a ton of just moments that I'd love to go back to and just experience again from when I was really young. Just a lot of playground related things. Like just being able to play tag and hide and seek and water gun fights and like just stuff like that.
I'll play tag with you.
Yeah, no, but I mean like just like playing at the parks I was at and like with the people that I was with and like just doing all these things.
Let's get him back.
Huh?
Let's get him back.
Well, one of them was right there.
Let's have a Tim Gettys. Let's find every single person you can remember from your childhood, and we'll play a game of tag
Some of
with
them are little shitheads.
That's what's fun, man. Tag them hard.
But yeah, I mean, just doing all that stuff. I'd love to just go back and just experience that again for a day. But it's funny you said you want to come back and all that stuff. I feel like, honestly, 7th grade, because that's when I really met my like core group of friends. And like that's when I like defined really who I am and like got on the path to where I'm at today. I feel like I would go back and just live it again. Like if I had the option. Everything from then to now.
Knowing what you know.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You'd be miserable.
No, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
like,
you would.
Oh
Knowing,
no, there's no way. I would absolutely do that. If you said you can go back knowing what you know now to like when you were like 7, I would just. Who wouldn't want to do that? You wouldn't want to do that?
Well, you can invest in stocks and shit. That's
No,
your
not
plan?
even
You
that.
save
It's just
your
like
money?
it's just like going like knowing exactly who the person that I like. Because I feel like all 4 of us have let our passions lead who we are. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Right. Like, and I feel like for me, you know, just doing this show and being able to do the stuff we do at IGN, like that's cool. But that got started a little later in life for me. And I think, you know, if you'd be able to go back like and marvel at what you could accomplish, knowing what you know now, where would I be at 34? You know, would I be?
Well,
in a
see, that's the whole
different
thing
place?
is I wouldn't want to go do it again because I'd be bored. I'd be intellectually bored with everything that's happening, and I'd start making different choices to not be bored. Maybe I'm not, and then
then
I'd
you create a
also
paradox.
I'd always be terrified that I wasn't making the right choice that got me here. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no,
Every
I'm-
choice
Yeah.
has gotten me here. So did I take this class or did I take that class before?
Oh, but see, I
And
would.
did I do this assignment? And who did
well,
I
that's
talk
why I
to
have
for this
folders.
article? And
I have folders of everything I've ever done.
Yeah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to bring
Organized.
that shit back with you.
Oh.
That's not how time travel works when you jump back to a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
body.
it is risky.
You're
I mean,
You
I
don't bring
can't
a MacBook.
I can't guarantee that if you're there for in perpetuity that you won't make paradoxes too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
No, I'm
I
not
guess
saying
that's
that.
why I
I'm
bring up
saying
the
that-
idea of the movie thing. Like, I would watch the movie of everything if, like, it was movie doesn't necessarily make sense because
I
then
would like
I'm.
to
What I
aging.
talk about, what I would think about in this scenario, and not in a terrifying way like it was in this movie, is in Being John Malkovich when John Cusack goes through the door like twice or whatever. I forget. He goes through the door as John Malkovich, and he ends up at like just an observer behind his daughter's eyes.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get to make any choices. He just sees how that life is.
Yeah.
You know, he's along for the ride.
Yeah, I feel like I would love that. I mean, I know obviously I'm talking at this point 13, 14 years. Like, of course that would suck. That'd be the longest, worst movie ever.
Yeah.
But like,
There'd be moments. There'd be
If you could
days you
fast
wake
forward
up
or
and you'd be like,
something.
"Oh my god, I can't." Or this is what happened.
or it's like, oh shit, I know this moment's coming. Or like, God, I'm gonna do something so awkward today. Or like, fuck, this is gonna suck. But I still would love that. I mean, even going back, and I feel like I can kind of do this. Watching the old videos I made recently, I found an old hard drive, and I have all these like crazy videos, and I'm just like, some of them like I was a genius, and some of them I'm like, what was I thinking?
No, that one you showed me, the Charles Barkley one today, was genius.
Yeah, I
but
showed Greg
saw
it,
that
too.
one.
I'm telling you right now, if this is what I'm saying, not being a sort of passive viewer, I'm talking if you could go back and be like, I'm just going to live my life from that point to this point, not trying to be the person I am today.
Yeah.
Just seeing what else happens. Knowing everything I know now, what would be different? Would I wind up in the same place? Or, like, for me, would I skip college and just go to LA and find someone and start apprenticing with them?
I
You
would
know?
skip college.
I would skip
for
college. I
sure.
probably would have skipped
No
college.
way.
No, I wouldn't.
100%.
You guys majored in something that like you loved, and I did too with film, but I would have gone to a trade school probably, knowing what I know now, because
Like
all of the
ITT
technical
Tech?
information. No, more like AFI or a school that wasn't a 4-year university.
Gotcha.
It's still expensive, but something that taught you just a trade like
See, I would have
filmmaking.
just talked to a camera sooner. Like, that's one
Oh,
of my
yeah.
biggest regrets in life. Like, I remember, and it's funny that it wasn't until recently that I really started doing it. But like, back in 2007, maybe 2006, I was a junior in high school, and I remember me and Alfredo, we were talking. I'm just like, man, like if you could go back in 5 years, what would you tell yourself? And I was like, I would tell myself, just fucking talk to a camera and say the news.
Yep.
You know, say what's going on. And like, it back then it sounded so simple. And like now it's even more simple. Now it's like, yeah, just do that and it works. I'm like, why didn't I just do this before?
Yeah, you'd have like 2 million subscribers on YouTube right now. And
Yeah, it's just like
You'd be Phil
want to
DeFranco.
able to exactly. You
Yeah.
know, and that's just crazy to me that like, in hindsight, it's always
2020.
Yeah,
You should have
but-
known. Should have done this. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking about with when I did the video game column and blog, right? Which got me to IGN. I remember when I covered the PlayStation 4 PlayStation 3 in Wii launches. I took my digital camera and did little videos of interviewing people in line, and then the first Walmart, PlayStation leaving Walmart, yada yada. And I put those on YouTube. And those views jumped like crazy. And like YouTube would hit you up and ask you like, oh, you should monetize these videos. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that or whatever, blah, blah. But it never dawned on me that I'm writing this blog and I'm doing this column, and why not speak into that camera about video games once a week, once
Yeah.
a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And how
man, it's
different it
crazy.
would have been,
It's-
and how you could have.
It's crazy
jumped
even
up.
to do, like taking it even to video games. Like just to see the birth of people talking into a camera about video games. I think one of the first people that I really remember doing it is Destin, actually.
Oh yeah.
Like even back on Screw Attack.
The
like,
shotgun.
like
Today we're inducting Mario's boot.
but it's crazy to me that now it's so
Destin knows
common.
we love him.
It's so common and it's so just like, oh yeah, we all do this. It's a normal thing.
Yeah.
But it's like back when he was doing it, it was not normal. Like he was one of the only dudes talking about video games on the internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's very interesting. I get nostalgic for time. Like I noticed that. I mean, maybe it's just a natural progression, but as I get older, I get nostalgic for weird shit. Like I'm even nostalgic for like 2011 now. You know, nonetheless, 1991.
I feel like Smash Bros does that to me. Like because there's been such generations with Smash Bros, and like my group of friends has a lot of the consistency, but then there's also like a lot of different people, especially now because of IGN, like my IGN family.
Yeah.
And it's like it's crazy to look back, but man, like I would give anything to go back to playing Smash 64 or Melee
For the first time.
or like not even the first time, like let's say 6 months into it, you know, just when it was finally that
Sure.
like
When you
the
got
group
it.
of people that were like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got this
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah.
Or like Melee, where it was me and Curran, where we would just go home after school every day and just play. Same shit. Final Destination, no items, just us. Every fucking day. And then when Brawl came out, and it was just groups of us playing, then coming to IGN playing it with all of you guys, and now all of us playing this new one. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. That game is.
And Greg's favorite setup, which is any stage but Final Destination.
300%
items at
items.
300%.
My God.
I would tell you what I've
Only
been
Link.
playing. I've been playing with Frank Furlano, the guy who did
News
Beyond
Frank?
with us in Toronto.
Oh.
Playing Smash with him, and he uses items. And like that is like learning to walk again. Playing that game, and like shit's falling from the sky. I'm like,
Yeah, I
what
don't
do I
know
do
what
with
any
any
of
of
these
this?
do.
And, like,
My problem with items is just like once you learn which one, like their strengths of just throwing it, if you just throw items at people, they will die.
yeah, I agree. That's what I did to him.
And this
many
new one,
times.
this new one has some cheap ass weapons. The Gust Bellows thing, the dumb beetle that takes you away, those are instant kills.
I agree.
DDD don't need weapons.
Except his hammer.
Yeah, all he needs is a hammer and
It's a
that
mallet. Isn't it more of a
sociopathic
mallet?
face.
He has the face of a psychopath.
Yeah, he's just like...
Just there's nothing going on behind those. There's no conscience behind that in those eyes.
It's so awesome.
You're capturing.
I
You're
love how
getting
much
it.
Colin loves it. Like,
I
it's
know.
just so good.
He's a great character. He's just such a dumb character.
Did you
It's
ever...
a penguin with a robe on.
I think I know the answer to this, but have you ever seen the Kirby cartoon?
I don't think so.
Kirby Right Back at You? That's the name of it.
No, I don't even think I even heard
Oh,
of that.
Colin.
It's an American cartoon?
Yeah. It was on Fox Kids.
Oh, geez.
Just do YouTube D2D
Yeah.
in this show. Oh, man. He has like the worst accent ever.
Is
It's
he
just-
like...
Yeah, he is.
What kind of accent is it? Jamaican?
What's up? See, I don't even remember at this point. I just remember it was like, whoa, this is so not what you would ever imagine D2D to
Kirby's weird.
sound like.
Kirby's weird.
Yeah, he
I remember
is.
when Kirby came out, I was like, what the hell is this? Because it was a Game Boy game, but it was also a late NES game. Around the time that like Yoshi's Cookie came out, Wario's Woods, Mega Man 6, there was like a lot of weird games like in 93, 94 that were coming out on NES, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And it wasn't until later that I like in like the mid to late 90s when I started playing the Game Boy ones, I was like, this is a good series.
Kirby?
Yeah.
It was. See, I never got the
It was
appeal.
easy as hell.
It's too fucking easy.
It's really easy.
It's real bad.
But then again, I'm an OG at games. So, you know, whatever. Watching that, did you guys see that kids react video with Mega Man?
Mega Man.
Oh,
I was like, I wanted to scream at the computer. I'm like, shoot!
See, something that's unfair. Something unfair about that video though is like those kids don't play video games. Period. Like if you got kids that would call themselves gamers now playing, I think it would be a different story. Not that much different, but that video I take a little offense to because I know for a fact that those kids don't play games.
Jerks.
I was just thought it was so funny how evil it was because like they just put him into Mega Man 1, which is definitely the hardest one too. Like they didn't even do like Mega Man 2 or something a little more manageable. It was like Mega Man 1, but they did give him Bomb Man stage. They told him to go to Bomb. That is the easiest stage. So they did try to give them some advantage.
If you go back to the day that you first unwrapped Mega Man 3, would that be a good day?
Yeah, man. I mean, I waited so long for that game. I remember that was in Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power used to have like the shitty broke ass like no frills drawings of characters. Remember that? Like
Yeah,
some of them
yeah,
were
yeah.
terrible. I remember there was like a poster. They had like all like I remember taking the Mega Man 3 ads. It was next to a Snow Brothers ad. Snow Brothers was a really rare NES game that's like actually really expensive to find. And I wish I used to rent it. I wish I just fucking bought it. And I remember putting a poster on my wall, whatever, and just waiting for it. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna fight Gemini Man first. I'm gonna fight Shadow Man. And then I realized when I played the game, you don't fucking start with Gemini Man. You start with Magnet Man. And he ended up being the most OG of them all. Magnet Man was my dude. I used to dress up as Magnet Man and run around the woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Game Over Greggy show. Each week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, you can hit up kindafunny.com/Patreon each and every Friday to get the episodes brand new, spanking new, early as an MP3 and video. If you don't want to give us any money, that's totally cool. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny to get each and every topic broken out day by day starting the next Monday. Then, go to the store, kindafunny.com/store. Buy this shirt. Or the Moriarty Miller ticket if we ever get back on the same page.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're tearing each other apart. You're tearing it apart.
I'm at the top of the ticket. I'll get another running mate. It's fine.
I'm gonna tell you this right
We
now.
need Kevin?
Anyone that brings me regional balance.
I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. If you guys can't even get it together to podcast, how the hell are you gonna take care of this nation? Tim and I are solid like a rock. We're solid. We're solid like a rock.
All right. Whatever you say. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a Happy New Year if you're watching this late. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Did you really do the thing with the woods?
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about that before.
I had a Fisher-Price magnet that came in like some sort of science thing. It was like this big plastic Fisher-Price magnet. I was like probably like this. And I used to rubber band it to my head. And then I would put on, like, I'd have, like, this fake Mega Buster, because Magnet Man had his own Mega Buster. So, because some of the Robot Masters had no Mega Buster, and some of them had 2. Like, Needle Man had 2. Gemini Man had 1. Stink Man had 1.
Yeah.
But Top Man didn't. He would throw his shit. Anyway, and then I had, like, a cape. Then he didn't have a cape. I just wore the cape anyway.
I love this so much.
And then
I've learned so much about
and then
Colin today.
and then I would dart into the woods and run around.
Were you, like, singing the song?
I don't know what the hell I was doing. I used to dress. My friend Brian across the street used to have a boomerang too, and so I used to dress up as Quick Man sometimes as well, which was basically just the same outfit but with a boomerang on my head instead of a magnet. So that's it. Good night.